At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything: design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4everremodeling.com to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
Do you see yourself traveling, working part-time, or moving somewhere warmer when you retire? Hi, I'm Nolan Webster, your local Chicagoland Edward Jones financial advisor, and I want to help make your retirement goals a reality. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to be, and how we can get you there. Together, we can plan for the expected and make sure you're ready for the unexpected. Call me at 224-801-6107. That's 224-801-6107. Or visit edwardjones.com to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Oil. American oil isn't up because of the war with Iran. It's up because the Houthis, without the blowfish, once again attacked an innocent country's oil tankers. This is why they must be crushed and dismantled in the same way we must crush and dismantle the Leviathan in Washington, D.C. Hydra, the Fourth Reich. And we start with Jack Smith, Clapper, Comey, and finally Obama. We'll be doing him a favor sending him to prison. We'll discuss this and more after Mike Scott.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Scott. In the QC Kinetics newsroom, an investigation continues after a Thursday morning chase involving deputies from Northwest Indiana that ended in a rollover crash on the city's far south side. 2 men were injured in a shooting in the Gage Park neighborhood this morning. The shooting took place around 12:50 a.m. along South Spalding Avenue. One of the men, 25 years old, was shot in the back and taken to Christ Hospital in critical condition. 22 are confirmed dead after an under-construction tunnel collapsed in India. And House lawmakers have approved a more than $1 trillion annual defense policy bill on a 216 to 212 vote. The Illinois High School Association releasing the 2026 Illinois High School football schedule. Week 1 games kick off August 20th through 22nd, fully 1 week earlier than usual due to an expanded playoff format debuting this year. The Blackhawks sign back Patrick Kane, 2 years, $16 million. The news, a service of the AM 560 mobile app. Listen to AM 560 on your smartphone when you download the app at 560theanswer.com/mobile. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The major averages tumbling on AI spending worries and surging oil prices, while Treasury yields rose to their highest level in more than a year on rising rate hike bets. There are concerns about the amount of money companies are spending on artificial intelligence and technology. The Magnificent Seven big cap tech stocks fell across the board. Shares of Alphabet, the newest addition to the Dow, tumbled 7%. The Google parent delivering a robust earnings report, but said it was hiking its AI spending plans, spooking investors. Shares of Tesla plunged over 14% after the EV maker posted weaker than expected second quarter earnings. The Dow winners: Honeywell Technologies, Travelers, and Caterpillar. The Dow decliners: Alphabet, Amazon, and Goldman Sachs. The Dow falling 507 points. The Nasdaq lower by 553. S&P 500 down 91. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Scott Jennings knows only one way.
That is the hallmark of this show. I will tell you the truth. I, of course, have my opinions, but never doubt I will tell you the truth as I know it to be at that moment here on this live radio show. And that is the difference between what we do here and how a lot of other people choose to conduct themselves.
The Scott Jennings Show. Weekdays at noon, right before Hugh Hewitt at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
You know that feeling when you call your insurance company and you know that you're getting put into queue? Nobody wants to go through that, specifically Tommy and TJ Iaquinta with Class A Insurance. They're a father and son team built right here in Chicago's southwest suburbs on one idea: treat people like family. See, because they're independent, they're not stuck in pushing one company policy on you, one company rates on you. They shop the best carriers in the country. names you'd recognize, and find coverage that actually fits your life, your home, your car, even your boat and motorcycle. That's why they've been named one of the top 25 home insurance agencies in Chicago. 2 generations, 1 agency. And clients that stick with them for years. When something happens and claims happen, Tommy or TJ is the one who picks up the phone and walks you through the process themselves. If you're paying for a policy you don't understand from a company you never talk to, it's simple. Head to 560insurance.com. That's 560insurance.com. Get a free quote in minutes at 560insurance.com.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer from the AM 560 Traffic Center.
On the Edens outbound trip, no troubles. The Kennedy, 55 minutes to get from the Byrne interchange to O'Hare. Tighten the Express, Ohio to Irving Park. Hour and 10 to 390 from the post office on the Eisenhower. Stevenson outbound an hour and 5 out to 355. We are seeing delays right near the Tri-State because of an accident in the right lane. Dan Ryan, a half hour to 95th, slowing in the Express, 33rd to Marquette. Heavy along DuSable Lakeshore Drive and the Tri-State either direction. Jane Addams is clear. Eastbound Reagan, medical emergency right lane right near the Tri-State. 355, not bad. This report is a service of Salem Surround, a local digital marketing agency providing high-performing digital solutions to surround your target audience. Go to surroundchicago.com today. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchek.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 66. On Friday, expect nice weather with sunshine and a few clouds, reaching a high of 81. Friday night will be clear to partly cloudy with a low of 66. Saturday will be more humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
Man, I used to love Thursdays, huh? Magnum PI, handsome son of a gun, heterosexual, driving a Ferrari. What's not to love? Every week, a new Brajol. Who didn't want to be Tom Selleck and Magnum PI? And then the house, Robin's Nest, 3 acres, beachfront in Hawaii. Absolutely magnificent. Did you know, Squirrel? 11 bedrooms, 14 baths, with a casita, also known as an in-law, somewhere you could put the ugly people that work for you. You know who owns it now? Ugly people. Michelle and Barack Obama paid $8.7 million, put $6 million into a rehab of Robin's Nest, right on the ocean with all the seas arising and all the bull dung. Do you ever wonder how they did it? How'd they do it? Hey, dummy, How'd you do it? You needed that greasy, slimy Tony Resco and sweet Polly Purebred, the real estate broker known as Rod Blagojevich's wife, Dick Mell's daughter, to put together that ghetto. And I said ghetto in Hyde Park. You wanted the lot, you couldn't afford it. You were late on your car payment for your Chrysler 300 when you were smoking crack in the back of a limousine with Larry Sinclair. You remember Larry, take your pants off Sinclair? Yeah, I do too. How did you buy Robin's Nest? Not to mention the other $40 million. You hear me, Squirrel? $40 million in real estate that the Obamas own. In fact, their net worth, bust out from Chicago, laid on the Chrysler 300 known as the Ghetto Bentley. Laid on the payment. How did you buy it?
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice.
That's that pockface gangster government lawyer. Pockface. Ugly. Ugh. Jack Smith. Did you ever see what's uglier than Jack Smith and Michelle Obama and Barack's feet? Jack's wife, Katie Chevalier, whatever, a producer for documentaries. Ooh, documentaries. Now, we have a lot of documentary producers on, right, Squirrel? You see, it's hard. You're hard-pressed not to get a guy driving a Buick. How did you get them? Oh, that's how they launder the money. Through fraudulent book sales and phony agreements with Netflix. See, that's how you launder billions and billions of dollars, like Act Blue. Laundered it in all the pigeons registered Democrats' names. Next thing you know, the Obamas are rich as could be. And the reason was they were running a fraud, a scam, stealing elections, which are still stolen to this day, creating policies, adding $30 trillion to the American national debt. See, this is bigger than a couple of Chicago ugly dog-faced gangsters who occasionally smoke crack and sleep with the same sex. We're used to the dailies. These are people who have figured out how to take debt and steal it so nobody looks for it. $30 trillion in 18 years of this fracking moron.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines.
Woo! Yeah, it sure does. Because you've been stealing elections since the dailies were in knickers. And I'm talking about old man Daley, not the stupid one that can't read, his son who was the mayor also.
The Russians were responsible for hacking the DNC, and that as a consequence, it is important for us to review all elements of that and make sure that...
Your wife wears boxer shorts? Jake Clapper, in an interview with CNN, once again proving, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the allegations and accusations by people who can read, good-looking son of a gun such as myself, right as usual.
Jim Comey and I are part of the group that were tasked by President Obama to put together all the reporting we had on the Russian interference.
Former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper appears to admit the Russia probe was initiated by none other than former President Barack Obama. In a recent CNN interview...
Oh yeah, this is other nations' news. See, the rest of the world, like the rest of the states in America, knows Chicago is a fracking punchline, a fiefdom. And the rest of the world knows that Barack Obama and the government that has ensued since him, except for a small time of respite, when the first too big to rig, Donald Trump beat the Duchess of Chaffington, who can't get a dog to sniff her. That unlikable whore shocked the world when Big Donnie beat her, much to the chagrin of Obama, who even used to brag about what it was like to have those unions suck on thugs who were in charge of all the election machines. Those are the same Teamster union officials that got Joe Robinette Biden elected in 1972. Same scandal, same scam. Back then, though, women were women and men stayed out of their restrooms.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines. But look, I come from Chicago.
No, you don't. You come from Indonesia, Barry, where you were prancing around eating dog and whatnot instead of just married to one. Yeah, you do. You have nothing to do with Chicago. You don't know the bulls from your elbow. I cleaned that up, squirrel. However, what Barack Obama learned and what was cultivated in that perfect soiree of Marxism and gangster government is how to misuse and weaponize government.
Can you tell us about this letter that Jim Jordan sent to the DOJ asking for this criminal investigation of former special counsel Jack Smith? What's he alleging and what's prompting this now?
So what's happening here by Congressman Jim Jordan is a little bit of selective listing of the facts here. So I want to be super...
Squirrel, I had to get it from MSNBC. Who was receiving money. Microsoft contracts. See that MS in MSNBC? That stands for Microsoft, not Miss. Although Bill Gates in a miniskirt would look a lot better than Liz Cheney. However, what this is an MS propagandist who has to finally admit it looks like the first major cog, a crooked rat, slip and fall lawyer with pockmarked face, married to the money launderer for Netflix and the Obama. It looks like he's got a headache.
Clear about what's happening. During his investigation of Donald Trump, special counsel Jack Smith subpoenaed phone companies for the toll records of members of Congress. So that means...
Listen to this Sally put on lipstick of what the real problem was. You see, Squirrel, he unlawfully confiscated not just phone records, but for all we know, edited them in the same way that pencil neck geek senator from California edited the evidence for January 6th. Adam Schiffless.
Who called?
Also looks like he rides a horse with two legs on one side, known as side saddle. He looks a little queer to me.
Who, when, who texted who, when, how long they were on the phone for. It does not include actual messages. It does not include any audio of the actual conversations themselves. Separately, Jack Smith also subpoenaed Trump allies for their actual phone records, which would include the messages, which would include the audio of the phone calls. And on those records, subpoenaed from the National Archives, were members of Congress's messages. Think Peter Navarro or Rudy Giuliani having
discussing the election theft, preparing for the election theft, demanding an audit, which was turned in to a phony insurrection because I wasn't there. Listen, Democrats, you want to see an insurrection? This handsome son of a gun. I'll be right up front, and I won't come there with a hot dog in my hand, believe me. See, that's what really aggravates me. All we ever said is exactly what the news now has to report. They're forced to report it, much to their chagrin.
The progress does mark a major win for the White House and for Republicans, especially as the Justice Department escalates its investigation into New Jersey's voter roll scandal. The DOJ requiring state officials in New Jersey to turn over the names of more than 6,600 non-citizens who were registered to vote in the state.
That's the wrong number. It's 37,000 and counting. And every time they get access to the voter rolls in this Democrat mafia dunghole, much like our own, it's the same fracking story. No matter where they pretend to be in charge, they're in charge of stealing.
42,000 people in Nevada voted more than once, according to your work in this. 42,000 people. 1,500 people voted in Nevada that were dead. 19,000 people voted, though they did not live in Nevada, and they weren't a college student. 8,000 people voted from a non-existent address. 15,000 people voted, though they were registered to a commercial address or a vacant address. And 4,000 people voted in Nevada that are non-citizens. My question to you is, in my state, when someone votes twice, and we do have that occasionally, and about 50 times a year that actually occurs in our state, we prosecute individuals that vote twice.
Well, that's because it's a good state. In the meantime, the evidence, the accusations that were made for 5 years of the illegitimate dimwit in diapers, all of it was one scandal. The next scandal is to protect the true treasonous act by Barry Soetoro.
The implications of this are, frankly, nothing short of historic. Over 100 documents that we released really detail and provide evidence of how this treasonous conspiracy was directed by President Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office, after President Trump had already gotten elected.
Now here's Clapper
Jim Comey and I are part of the group that were tasked by President Obama to put together all the reporting we had on the Russian interference.
Former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper appears to admit the Russia probe was initiated by none other than former President Barack Obama.
Jack Smith is just the beginning, Squirrel. By the time this is over, Tom Selleck will be living back at Robin's Nest, and they'll have to take the urinal out of Michelle's bathroom. 312-642-5600.
This is the Shaun Thompson Show, where Democrats are always wrong, Republicans are seldom right, and politicians are never, ever to be trusted. On AM 560, The Answer.
Foundations of Freedom, a look at America's founding principles and the leaders who shaped our nation.
In 1862, Abraham Lincoln signed the Morrill Act, helping states create colleges focused on agriculture, mechanics, science, and practical education. The principle was not centralized control, it was opportunity. Lincoln's Morrill Act reminds us that America can support education without surrendering education to Washington. Why did it matter? Because a free nation needs citizens equipped to work, build, steward, and govern themselves. Scripture gives work a sacred weight. In Genesis, God placed man in the garden to work it and to keep it. Proverbs honors the one who works his land. Paul warns against idleness and calls believers to earn their bread. Why does that still matter today? Because education should form capable people under God, not dependent subjects under bureaucracy.
You know what really keeps me up at night? It's the criminals feel more and more bold. They have no fear of any consequences because there are none. So I did what anyone with a family should do. I called Goldilocks. They're not just some cookie-cutter security company. Goldilocks has been protecting Chicagoland homes and businesses for 4 decades, 40 years. And they actually listen. Their technician comes out to the house. He takes a look at what you need to make your house a smart home with a security system you can monitor from anywhere. It's built specifically for me and my family. Motion sensors, smart locks, cameras, monitoring, all customized. I don't trust anybody in Illinois to protect my family. I do it, and I did it by calling Goldilocks. I trust Goldilocks to keep my house, my property, and my family safe. Tell them Shaun Thompson sent you, and Goldilocks will include 3 months free monitoring with any new installation. Call Goldilocks at 708-889-5600. That's 708-889-5600. Or visit them online at GoldilocksInc.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
This is the Sheriff's Office. We have a report of missing employees at Hassleus Mattress.
Yes, Hassleus Mattress showrooms are employee-free.
You're confessing?
That's how we keep our prices way low. And through Monday, trade in your old mattress and take $248 off a queen and $348 off a king.
Sounds suspicious.
Free next day delivery, too.
Dispatch, I need a police escort for a Hassleus Mattress delivery truck to my house.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassleus.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
As I testify before the committee today, I want to be clear. I stand by my decisions as special counsel, including the decision to bring charges against President Trump.
All a lie. Every fracking allegation. A lie to cover up the true conspiracy. The conspiracy that Joe Robinette Biden, why are my socks wet? This stupid son of a gun never won the election.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
You know who the we he was talking about, Squirrel? Him, Barack, Bigfoot, and all the other upper echelon of the Fourth Reich. That's who he was talking about. Tomas, Blue Island.
Sean Dittos. So, Sean, that clip you played said 41,000 people voted twice. In 2020, I was suspended from Twitter for saying when they were mailing out all them mail-in ballots here in Illinois, and I got one at home, I said, what's going to stop me from mailing this thing in and then just going and vote on Election Day? And that explains to you how scumbag Joe Biden got 81 million votes, brother.
He never got it. He got a count, but he never got it. You're exactly right. And the innuendo, this is what I love about Barack. See, he's too stupid. He wasn't in Chicago long enough. It's all that Indonesia, the surfing and eating dog. He even admitted the innuendo that we've all lived with. You know the innuendo. You know.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines.
That's the daily wink in the nut. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, how'd you vote? Don't matter how you voted. Who's watching the machines?
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines.
Tell you what does. I don't even care, Squirrel. Really. You know what I always loved about Barack Obama? Even though he made hundreds of millions, got away with crime and mayhem and murder, war crimes and bombings and whatnot, every once in a while he'd roll over. And there she was, drooling on the pillow. Ooh, there's nothing that could prepare you for that. I'm up. Chris in Wisconsin.
Hey, Shaun, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks
I got to say really quick, that last caller is kind of reminding me of Hulk Hogan.
Oh, well, he's got the little bit of a voice outside. Yeah, he'll rustle you, too. He's got a big belly. He's going to get tired out after about 45 seconds, but he'll give you a hell of a 30 seconds. That's for sure.
I'm sure he will.
Go ahead.
No, honestly, yeah. No, I've noticed some daycare centers, especially just now, that it looks pretty suspicious. And what's funny is that dang, what's our governor?
You've got Orville Redenbacher on meth. Yes. Yeah.
That guy, the Evers. No, when it all went down with the fraud, he goes, our friends to the north. And I'm thinking, oh, shoot, here we go. Wisconsin's in on it. Now I'm starting to notice things that, these daycare centers, they're looking pretty suspicious, and there's no children.
Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you very much for the call. $30 trillion has been stolen. What are you talking about debt? What debt? We got $1 trillion for public schools. We got $2.8 trillion for entitlements. We've got how much that has been stolen in these adult daycare centers? What is this other thing they got, Squirrel? Running it out of apartments all over Democrat cities. Apartments they run it out of.
Here inside of these residential apartment complexes, we have some DME companies, durable medical equipment companies that receive money from New York Medicaid.
Listen to this, Squirrel. And here we are going to work like a couple of suckers, from illegal aliens to drug addict scum. By the way, George Floyd, sober 6.5 years. All the rest of the scum robbing the American, not even taxpayer, the future. Kids not even born. It'll take 1,000 years to pay off the money that was stolen since Barack Obama and the Democrats decided to financially rape America.
And it's a bit fishy that they're operating inside of these residential apartment complexes. So we're going to see what's going on. We have Premier, Lifeline, and Next Gen. They're all operating out of one apartment. Let's see what's going on.
Out of an apartment, you low-living, low-rat Democrat thieves. Out of an apartment? You didn't even have the balls to go and do what the Somalians did. At least they made it look like they were a legitimate business or a service. In fact, Squirrel, if I'm not mistaken, they even took time out to go to the campaigns to personally bribe the upper echelon of the Minnesota Democrat rat hole.
All right, this news just breaking moments ago. Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile...
I'll take $5 on at least one Mohammed. Perhaps a yabba dabba do for a parlay of a sawbuck. You good, Squirrel? You cover that action? Yeah, go ahead. Give me the money.
Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Dahir Ibrahim. He entered the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim...
Oh, he's an international thief.
...was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, but should have never been eligible. We are going to have more on this in our next hour.
I get my cultists, my yabba dabba do thieves of the Somalias. I get them mixed up. Is that the same one that just got 38 years? I don't think it is. Is it? Who knows?
The convicted fraudster who orchestrated a brazen attempt to bribe a juror will now spend nearly 4 decades in federal prison. Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen has been following this part of the Feeding Our Future saga for 2 years, and he brings us the latest from the courtroom today.
A judge sentenced Abdiaziz Farah to an additional 10.
I not the same name, but I like to roll my my loss. I'll take $20 on first cousins with the other guy. How the frack are you gonna know?
Years for trying to bribe a juror during his fraud trial. And this is a rare case where that is extra time added on consecutive to the 28 years that Farah's already been sentenced.
So what? He stole hundreds of millions. One guy, hundreds of millions. So what do you say every quarter? You let me and a couple of Melrose Parkers who are getting on in years, we don't hit it like we used to. Just give a little visit with a ball-peen hammer. We break his feet. Every quarter! You're supposed to feel sorry for this guy. 38 years. So what?
For the fraud itself. In a courtroom at the federal courthouse in St. Paul, 37-year-old Abdiaziz Farah looked like he had aged significantly since this mugshot in 2024.
I'll tell you what, give him implants, a C cup, right on his back. Then maybe it'll be a 38 years I could tolerate. 312-642-5600.
He will never negotiate his constitutional rights with the government. Live free or die on the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you been watching gold and silver lately? Hard to ignore. Back in January of 2025, silver was under $30 an ounce, and now it's more than doubled. Again. Not bad, right? Some experts say this bull market is just getting started. Others say it's a good time to take some money off the table. Either way, whether you're buying or selling, Fox Valley Coins in Naperville is the place to go. They stock large quantities of all the major bullion coins and bars. And here's what sets them apart. Unlike places that only pay melt value, Fox Valley Coins pays more for high-grade coins and scarcer dates. That's real money left in your pocket. They also buy scrap sterling flatware, jewelry, silver-plated items, and old proof sets. And they specialize in U.S. and foreign collector and investment coins and currency, both buying and selling. Fox Valley Coins, one light north of I-88 on Route 59 at Ferry Road in Naperville. Family-owned with integrity since 1981.
Whether you are old or young, no one likes to lose money. The market is at an all-time high. How much risk does your portfolio really have in it? Are you worried that you could lose your hard-earned money? Call TJ Stearns in Arlington Heights at 800-640-2256 for your free risk report. Call right now and we will include a full analysis of your portfolio. Don't wait until it's too late. Call TJ Stearns, a local and longtime sponsor on AM 560. Call 800-640-2256. Call now and tell him AM 560 sent you.
My name is Whitney Allen and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I got a text message today from one of my friends, a listener, good guy. He said, what made him pick August 28th for Shaun Fest? I said, what are you, nuts? The best time of year, I think. The end of summer family picnic. That's really what it is. That's what Shaun Fest is. August 28th, Lakeside Pavilion, right in back of the Westin in Itasca, which is so convenient to get to. Right off of 355. You cannot miss it. They even have rooms for the people who are coming out of town. Get a room. Food is available. Drinks are available. Live band. Honey Bunny. Squirrel Hands. He'll be there. And all of the interviews, they're going to be live and in person. I'm going to get there at 3, and we're going to stay until I get to see each and every one of you. I cannot wait. And this is what I need when I'm here. Because I've been here now. I don't like to go any place. You know why? There's a lot of Democrats. I don't like them. Not to mention, can you turn right on red, you stupid son of a... They're not even fun to drive with. So when you're trapped in a bad area, it's important to spend time together. That's what Shaun Fest is. Go to 560theanswer.com/ShaunFest, SHAUN. All you have to do is register. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is register. We don't want any illegal aliens, any Kamala Harris voters. There will be no Biden voters. It's going to be an evening of moron, scumbag-free environment. The radio show is fantastic, but more importantly, we get to do it together. 560theanswer.com/SHAUN Fest. See you there. Just register. Happening on August 28th in Itasca. And our sponsors make it all happen. From Virago, leaving i-l.com, State Farm Insurance Agent Anthony D'Agrado, great kid, Unique Wooden Flags, and Class A Insurance owned by Tommy and TJ Iaquinta. And you know, the Randy will be there as usual. He's everywhere. He's a friend of mine, and he'll give you the service you need. If you have any questions, even repair stuff. We got the coin guys. Are they going to be there? Why not? Be cigars there, and you'll be there. See you on the 28th. When we get back, Kevin, you're first. 312-642-5600 after Mike Scott.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Scott in the QC Kinetics newsroom. 2 were injured in a shooting in the Gage Park neighborhood early this morning, around 12:50 a.m. Police say 2 men, ages 18 and 25, were standing outside when someone in a passing vehicle fired shots. The 25-year-old is in critical condition at Christ Hospital. Protests broke out in Wisconsin after a deadly police shooting.
The officer who was injured by the knife is the same officer who fired his weapon at this man. 4 officers were involved in this incident. Only the one officer fired his weapon.
Police in Crown Point, Indiana, investigating the death of a teenage girl found unresponsive in a hot tub. Authorities say the 14-year-old victim was discovered in the hot tub yesterday morning at a home in the 1000 block of East Greenwood Avenue. The Blackhawks confirm Patrick Kane is back with the team. 2 years, $16 million. The news, a service of the AM 560 Advantage, where membership has its privileges, and you can join today at 560theanswer.com/join. Your next news update is at 5. Continuous news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. And up next, a check of the roads in the traffic center this afternoon. Here's Jill Urchak.
On the outbound event, you're still in good shape. The Kennedy out to O'Hare, 55 minutes from the Jane Byrne interchange. You will see some slowdowns in the express lanes, Ohio to Irving Park. Eisenhower, that's up to an hour and 20. Post Office to 390. Stevenson out 40 minutes to the Tri-State, 55 out to the Veterans Memorial Tollway. Going out on the Rhine, it's a half hour. The Express are sluggish, 33rd out to Marquette. Skyway is clear. Bishop Ford inbound. Watch out for a crash at 103rd. Busy conditions along DuSable Lakeshore Drive either direction. Tri-State busy both directions as well. Southbound at 132, though, there is a crash. The Jane Addams is wide open. Eastbound Reagan tightening up 83 to the Tri-State. 355 looks good in northbound 53 at Algonquin. Watch out for a crash. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchak.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low of 66. On Friday, it'll be pleasant with a mix of sunshine and a few clouds, reaching a high of 81. Friday night will be clear to partly cloudy with a low of 66. Saturday will bring higher humidity levels along with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year. They want to make 2026 the best year ever. So to thank you, they are giving you free shipping on your entire order and wholesale pricing. So they are bringing back the mega sale. For example, the classic MyPillows, regularly $49.98, now only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the Made in the USA MyPillow My Mattress Topper and save up to $100. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY or call 800-489-0201 and use promo code LIBERTY. These offers won't last long, so call 800-489-0201 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY. Order now and your entire order ships absolutely free.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This hour of The Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. Wild West items, political history, we sell your American treasures. DonleyAuctions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
This was obviously a consequential week for House Republicans, but it was a very consequential week for the American people. We've delivered once again. Americans demand a few things that are common sense. They demand secure elections. They want a strong national defense capable of countering our adversaries. They want a Congress that plays by the same rules that they do. These are not big things to ask. House Republicans delivered on all those promises and those priorities this week and then some.
If only Mitch McConnell wasn't dead and the other 3 Republicans in on the scams with the Democrats, Murkowski, Collins, and John Thune, who used to work for Mitch McConnell's as his office paper organizer / lapdog. Kevin, Vegas.
Shaun, you're never going to believe it, but the guy who was supposed to be going after these 40,000 people that committed voter fraud by voting twice, our state's chief legal officer, you know what he's busy doing?
Boy, oh boy. Is it have anything to do with a stripper? And please tell me she's female. It is
no,
Vegas.
Even worse, he's running for governor.
Oh, nice. So from the he's a Democrat?
Oh God, yeah, for sure. He's the Democrat nominee, and he's busy campaigning with Newsom.
Vote for them.
And
I dare you.
You've
got a problem. You've got a problem in Vegas, though. It's very similar to Illinois. You've got almost. Well, no, you've got more scumbags than decent people. Where Illinois is like right there. We're neck and neck, the scum and the decent. So I don't know. Maybe being a thief and protecting the thieves with the power of government might get him elected. If you want in on the scam, vote for me. I'll set you free. Versus don't vote for the Democrat unless you want to live in a ghetto. There's a lot going on. Keep me posted on this election. I'm curious to see, will you?
Oh, for sure. I will. He's right now, he's campaigning with all the other failed governors. He's got doing photo ops with Newsom. He was just in Maryland with Wes Moore. We know what a sewer Maryland is.
Yeah.
And then he was just just in Chicago, too, with all fundraising for it because you can't get any money here. So.
I like that. Where you've obviously
it's a good sign.
It is a good sign, but do you have so you have a decent Republican running though? Did I hear that right?
Joe Lombardo. I don't know.
Joe Lombardo
He's a Republican.
from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. I used to play cards with him. He was in hiding.
No,
you sure? All right.
He's got a little sketchy history as well. He was the chief of police for that whole
dude, it's Vegas. What was Harry Reid? Harry Reid was a mob lawyer.
Yeah, of course.
Then the other guy who's the mayor of Vegas, he's the other gangster lawyer, right? But at least that's when the gangsters were men. Heterosexuals could win a fight, not like today. So, take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Could be worse. You could have, where in the world is
Darren Bailey.
Show me a sign, give me a clue. Drop me a hint and tell me something new. It's a global mystery. You've got to watch and see. Where in the world is
Darren Bailey.
You know, we're not the only ones asking it. Doesn't he sound great? Hey, Yogi, take your hat off. You know who's asking it? We Got Nothing News. Can you believe it?
One more question, and I'll admit it's a strange one to even have to ask 3.5 months before an election, but where is the Republican candidate for governor? It has been more than a month since Darren Bailey held a press conference in Chicago or the...
Yeah, he's at home walking around in his boxer shorts waiting for the pizza. Lynn, Indiana.
Hey, I'm not in Indiana at the moment. I'm going to visit my 95-year-old mom in the hospital in Illinois.
Oh, what's today? 95. 95
yeah, it was
is
her
good.
birthday yesterday.
Oh,
Her birthday, 95 yesterday.
That's fantastic.
We took a road trip to Connecticut because my partner is his son got married. The motels were ridiculous. We decided to drive around the back sides of the motels. It was beautiful up front. Around the back, there's the Somalis, and they're hanging out literally 7-8 men standing around together with the doors open. There was junk hanging out the windows. There was underwear on the railings.
Yeah,
So,
that's
I don't
that
know if
cultural
they were-
enrichment stuff you've heard so much about. Did you enjoy the cultural enrichment?
At one point, I broke down and cried because we couldn't find a motel, and we were going crazy. This is Connecticut.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were in Chicago.
No, but
Connecticut was
listen,
beautiful.
Lynn, this is the beauty of it's a sad reality, but it's also the beautiful fact. It is undeniable. Democrats cannot do anything. They certainly cannot be in charge of anything. They can't run anything. They certainly can't govern anything. And you could always tell when you're in a Democrat area because there's underwear hanging out of a window.
But there was no Democrats. Every single person we talked to was a Republican.
Oh, those are their
and
victims.
At one point I said, how come everybody I talked to is a Republican? How is this possibly a blue state? And she looked right at me and she says, that's a question I've been asking. So you have...
I could tell you. You want me to tell you? I could tell you right now. Hold on.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines.
Woo! Who's in charge of machines? Is it the union? Is it the union? Lynn, come on. Just stop bragging that you live in Indiana. You get to go home. You go to Indiana.
I love Indiana.
Oh, I know you do.
In a log cabin. I live in a log cabin in Indiana. It's amazing.
Give me your mom's first name.
Madeline.
Oh, I love that name. Will you give her a kiss for all of us, huh? Will you?
I absolutely will.
happy birthday.
95 yesterday.
Oh, that's fantastic. I lost a friend of mine, 58. 58. Yeah.
My husband was 61.
Sad. But what's even worse is my friend that died. He was the smartest one of us all. And he had a relative who lured him into being on the government dole our whole lives. And we're friends since I'm 5. And, you know, when you're 18, 19, my one friend becomes a lawyer, we go to work. And his relative used to say, what are you going to do? You're going to go to work? What are you, a sucker? Let me take you down to the Social Security office. And he did. And he died in a home, in a convalescent home. And he was, when I tell you, Lynn, the smartest kid I knew. No question about it. This is before Google. No AI, no nothing. Ask Joe Villa. That's what we used to say. Ask Joe Villa. He'll know. Whatever it is, math, whatever. And he threw it all away because he didn't want to work. He had a cancer. He had a cancer of character, and it's terrible. It's terrible. But, you know, I was talking to his brother and my buddy today, and hey, at least he finally has the dignity he gave up when we were kids. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate the call.
Bye. I love you.
Love you too. See, 95 in a good life, in a good world, never being a scoundrel or a scumbag. That's going from heaven to paradise. That's what that lady. Hope she comes home though for a little while. We'll be back.
Call Shaun now. 312-642-5600.
Your local State Farm agent Anthony DeGrotto combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. You can combine your home, auto, and life insurance to not only save you money, but give you the peace of mind you've been looking for. Anthony DeGrotto is your go-to agent in Chicagoland. He and his team will work for you to provide the best service you expect at the price you want. Combine your home, auto, and life insurance today. Anthony DeGrotto will help you mix and match things perfectly. His State Farm office is a top pick 2024 Daily Herald Reader's Choice Award winner. He's a proud supporter of Tunnel to Towers and like-minded as you. His State Farm agency is currently looking to add members at their Roselle office. Call Anthony at 847-895-1500 today or visit DeGrottoSF.com. That's DeGrottoSF.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hey, it's Shaun Thompson. You know, one day it's market volatility. The next day it's conflict overseas. Price jumps, confidence drops, and suddenly retirement feels less certain. When the latest headline pushes costs higher and stokes inflation fears, it can have a ripple effect on your investments and your budget. But here's the thing. Retirement shouldn't depend on perfect timing or on the latest geopolitical noise. Tom Fortino and the Alpha Wealth Group help families right here in the Chicago area build a plan to create income you can't outlive, control taxes, minimize risk, protect your assets, and prepare an estate and legacy plan. It's their 5-pillar retirement planning. Ready to learn more? To get your complimentary retirement roadmap and a retirement analysis today, schedule a meeting with Tom Fortino and the people of Alpha Wealth Group by calling 630-864-6711. That number again, 630-864-6711, or online at alphawealthgroup.com.
Is the IRS throwing high heat like bank levies and wage garnishments and tax liens?
Play ball!
Are you down to your last strike?
Strike two!
When the IRS brings in their closer, you don't bunt. You bring in a power hitter.
That ball is out of here!
At PJN Tax Solutions Group, we go to bat against the IRS. PJN Tax Solutions Group is a local tax resolution firm located right here in St. Charles, Illinois. Don't call some 1-800-FIRM 10 states away. We're right here. Don't let the IRS steal your paycheck, and don't let them tag your bank account out at home plate. This isn't Little League. This is your financial future. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, and a full count. Are you swinging alone, or are you going to call in a professional? Call PJN Tax Solutions Group now at 630-415-5296. Once again, 630-415-5296, or just Google, I want the IRS off my ASS.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
AM 560, The Answer.
The allegations against former Representative Harry Benton of Plainfield will remain sealed under the dome of the Capitol, out of public view, unless the Legislative Ethics Commission, made up of 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats, vote to make the report public.
So in other words, you get away with it. Don't worry about it.
We got you. Don't worry about it. What'd you do? Don't. I got you.
I got you.
Shh. It's Illinois, man.
Don't worry about a fracking thing. We got a scumbag, lowlife political pimp who now is a whore for governor.
Doesn't want to pay his taxes.
We got some moron, Speaker of the House, looks like Cecil the Turtle that beat Bugs Bunny. Used to slap around the brajol every once in a while. And what was that, 2002 and then 2007? Were they 2 different women or one? What's the difference? They like it rough. Put some Ike Turner on it. Stank on it. This next time you put some stank on it, sissy. George, Naperville.
Yeah, Shaun, this might sound crazy, but I saw Darren Bailey. He was on a horse with no name riding through a food desert.
It might have been a Clydesdale, if it's going to carry his fat ass around. I love that. He was calling Pritzker fat ass. I think you guys are in the same size suit. What is that, a 62 short? What do you got there? Hey, Darren, what do you got there?
Where in the world?
Darren Bailey.
Show me
Darren
a sign,
Bailey.
give me a clue. Drop me a hint and tell me something new.
Neighbor.
It's a global mystery. You've got to watch and see. Where in the world is
Darren Bailey.
Darren Bailey.
One more question, and I'll admit it's a strange one to even have to ask 3.5 months before an election, but where is the Republican candidate for governor?
He's
It has
busy.
been more than a month since
Got a lot
Darren
of things
Bailey
to
held
do.
a press conference in
Raise
Chicago
money.
or the suburbs.
Go out and
He did
eat.
have a meet and greet at a
Raise
Pilsen
money.
restaurant last
Go out
week.
and eat.
This photo from his campaign shows about 12 people in the room.
12? How many of them didn't have a job and were just there for the enchiladas?
There are big issues that Bailey and Illinois Republicans in general could be pouncing on. A sexual harassment scandal involving a Democratic state rep who recently resigned. While House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch claims to have acted swiftly on new allegations, the Tribune reports a young female staffer of the representative complained to the Speaker's office 3 years ago. It's unclear what, if anything, happened.
This is the beauty of having one lowlife run against another lowlife. What are you going to do, call the guy a lowlife? The only time in politics they ever tell the truth.
Keep in mind, it was a similar scandal involving a bungled response that contributed to the weakening of the most powerful Democrat in Illinois, former House Speaker Mike Madigan. While state Republicans have issued press releases and made posts on social media, they're not out banging the drum the way you might think.
I do think that people are making these points, but they're making them in the silos.
In the silos. I don't know this guy, but he seems like he's better than the last. But I'm not sure that's the way to go. Who's these people? You mean the guy running for governor? You know, maybe you should have got out front of this during the time he never wanted to debate the other candidates. It's one thing, you know, I'd rather have an argument with a guy who at least has the balls to tell you what he thinks. Where in the world was Darren Bailey? Did he even run? Who the frack is? Get the hell out of here.
Former Republican National Committeeman Richard Porter. He, too, has noticed the lack of vigor from Illinois Republicans when it comes to challenging Governor Pritzker and the rest of the Democrats who dominate our local politics.
I think that there is a mistake that people make, which is we're online so much and social media is so powerful and you're connecting with people all over the state and it's really cool. But I think the thing we got to recognize is that the algorithm drives us to meet the people who think the way we think. They're not sort of introduced.
So this is our fault. So Darren Bailey, who never ran for jack, this is our fault. Wouldn't debate the other candidates, just sat on money he raised how many years ago? It's our fault? Let me tell you something. Then you got another problem on your hand. You got the jerks like me who would never waste my ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears to put my name next to a scumbag's name. You got a lot of jerks in Illinois, a lot of guys like me. I'd rather smoke cigars and laugh at his fat ass than degrade my ancestors by pretending he's my candidate. Glenn in Orlando.
Yeah. Shaun, when you go to court, you got to remove your hat, stand up when the judge enters, and put your phone away. Why don't we do that for the national anthem?
Well, I mean, I do that. I don't wear a hat, number one. But you're talking about the old man that slapped the kid?
Yeah, but I've seen other people wear their hats when the national anthem gets played. When
Listen,
they're standing
Glenn,
up, it's like
you
no, you
can't
gotta take your hat off.
you cannot control what the scum do. They know what right and wrong is. They make the choice to do wrong. You know what you can do? Don't buy real estate next door to those scumbags. And whatever you do, don't open a business because those are the Democrats. Thank you very much. Gary, Northlake.
Yeah, Shaun, you've always talked about and emphasized the low living that we are doing in Illinois. Yeah. Well, I've always kind of wondered about that because me personally, I go to work 5 days a week. I pay my bills. I'm doing okay. But you're absolutely right. With these Illinois policies, the taxes, all the skullduggery, as you say, we are living low, and I don't even know it.
Well, here's the thing. You get used to it, Gary. This isn't your fault. You get used to it. You know that story I just told about my friend? I'm going to tell you something. That is a tale of woe. That should be a lesson for every kid. Here's a kid. We didn't have that cum laude nonsense or valedictorian in grade school or high school the way they got everything now. But if he wasn't the number one, he was the number 3 or 2 because everybody worked to do well in school. And I'm talking about before search engines, when you used to have to go to the library, or as it's known in Melrose Park, the library, look up all the information, read for days. You'd go in this kid's house, and all he would do is have books, and he'd be reading. He was so fracking brilliant, and he had one scoundrel in his inner circle. And he would tell him, what are you going to do? You're going to go to work like a sucker? He was on disability. This is years ago. Just go and tell him you don't feel good. You got this, you got that. And that's what he did. And then before you know it, when you have to say you're on disability, what do they say when you're normally healthy? Well, you're depressed. You need medication. You start taking the pills, right? And then before you know it, you're walking around your apartment because you think you're ahead of the game because you get 600-700. I'm going back now 30 years, 35 years. And you think what do you think, you're winning because you don't have to go to work? You steal. This is the thing about this whole thing with communism and socialism. First, you must steal their dignity, their ambition. You must tell them it's okay. Don't worry. Everybody's doing it. Just get in on it. And everything's going to be fine. And then your mother and father, I got the building, we'll put in the HBO. You don't have to go to work. And before you know it, you're in your 50s. You never lived a life of any quality. You wasted all that talent God gave you, and you're hooked and you're strung out on medication. You don't even know what the frack you are. You're taking or who you are. That's how it ends. It's communism. My friend Joe got lured into communism. Go ahead.
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm finally, after 5 years, going to take one day off of work so I can make your Shaun Fest. I'm already registered.
Now you come by me now. You come right there.
First day off in 5 years.
You go up. You look for me, and you come up and you say, Gary Northlake. Will you do that for me?
Yes, I will, sir.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
You have a blessed day, and keep your head on a swivel. I'm out on the road right now, and my head's on a swivel.
Come on. I could survive. I grew up in there. You nuts. I could survive anywhere. Drop me in the middle of Cambodia. I'll be all right. 312-642-5600.
This is the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-431-2715. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-431-2715. 800-431-2715. 800-431-2715.
Hey, it's Scott Tucker and my new co-host,
Amy Jacobson,
on AM 560. We wanted you to know that we have a special show every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. here on AM 560, The Answer. It is Retirement Decoded with Scott Tucker and
Amy Jacobson.
It's every Sunday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. 2-hour show, 2-hour radio extravaganza. Amy, we're going to tantalize the listening public and the listening private with all kinds of retirement planning information. So tune in at AM 560 Sunday mornings at 7 a.m.
Now that summer is here, it's time for some summer home maintenance.
That's cold!
Hot water issues? Call Center Guard Plumbing. Right now, get a new 40-gallon atmospheric vent water heater installed for just $1,295 standard installation, or a 50-gallon for $1,395 standard installation, with free haul-away of your old tank. A proud sponsor of AM 560, you'll save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on tankless and atmospheric vent water heaters with Center Guard Plumbing. Plus, get 10% off any licensed plumbing contractor competitor's price. Center Guard Plumbing is Chicagoland's same-day water heater experts. Call before noon, and they can schedule your repair or install the same day on in-stock water heaters. You're only a text away from install today. Call 847-406-8883. Mention AM 560 to receive summer special pricing. That's 847-406-8883. Call or text 847-406-8883 or visit centerguardplumbing.com.
WIND, Chicago.
What's with the ladder and bowling ball?
I'm testing the unsmushable Qualix Ultra Foam in Penny Mustard's Motion Sectional.
But our foam is already proven to stay supportive and comfortable for the life of the sofa.
Are you also dropping a St. Bernard on the sectional?
No, he's here to rescue me when I fall off the ladder.
The forever comfortable Motion Sectional, American made with a solid wood frame and hundreds of fabric and leather options, starting at just $62.95 at Penny Mustard.
7 Chicagoland showrooms.
PennyMustard.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
You know what's great about talking to E.J. Antoni, the doctor of economics, is that I'm aware of how much he knows the fundamental principles of business, of success, of capitalism. Yet he never was on a board of an energy company or an investor in a Chinese movie production company or an entertainment attaché like Hunter Biden was. So I don't know. To me, it's a big deal. Doctor of Economics E.J. Antoni at Heritage. But we could have got Hunter Biden the crack smoker if we really want to talk about the economy. We'll do that and more after Mike Scott.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Scott in the QC Kinetics newsroom. More than 11,000 cases of cyclosporiasis are now being reported. 41 states linked to the stomach parasite. The CDC says it's continuously monitoring.
I know it's pretty widespread, but in terms of total numbers, I think the cases are still relatively small.
I had a salad yesterday, and my stomach is really messed up today.
Officials say one multi-state outbreak is linked to iceberg lettuce, and Taylor Farms is one of those companies that is recalling that lettuce sourced from central Mexico. Governor J.B. Pritzker says electronic monitoring of a suspect on pretrial release did not work in the case of a 10-time convicted felon who was detained after jumping into the governor's backyard.
A judge is in the best position with a prosecutor there, with a defense attorney there, to make the decision about whether that person is a danger to the community and whether they should be released.
Pritzker saying Cook County judges need to pay attention as they try to reform the electronic monitoring system. The Blackhawks confirm Patrick Kane is back with the team. 2 years, $16 million. The news, a service of Fox Valley Coins. No waiting, no problem. No charge for in-store appraisals. Bring your gold or silver in today. FoxValleyCoins.com. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The major averages plunging in a tech-led sell-off as AI spending fears rattle markets. The Magnificent Seven big-cap tech stocks plunging across the board, led by Tesla and Alphabet. Shares of Alphabet diving over 7%, with the Google parent shaving 145 points off of the Dow. Shares of Tesla tanking over 14% after the EV maker posted weaker-than-expected second-quarter earnings, and its free cash flow turned negative during the period. Oil gushed on widening Middle East tensions, with West Texas intermediate crude settling at over $92 a barrel. The Dow down 507 points, the Nasdaq lower by 553, S&P 500 down 91. Shares of Intel are spiking after hours, the chipmaker delivering a second quarter earnings and revenue beat thanks to ongoing strong demand for artificial intelligence. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Perhaps you're a collector, or perhaps all of a sudden you have a collection. Maybe it's an inheritance. How do you know what it's worth? This is Shaun Thompson for Donley Auction. The market for antiques and collectibles is changing all the time. What is your collection worth right now? Well, I've got an easy way to find out. It's simple. You contact Donley Auctions. With their worldwide audience of live and in-person auctions, they have a good idea of how to tell you exactly what it's worth at exactly right now. They're ready to put top dollar in your pocket. The bigger the collection, the better. Go to DonleyAuctions.com and get the info on all things that they buy and sell to have an idea of exactly what Donley does and how much they need your collection. They have so many buyers, it's a great time to sell. Just simply make a phone call. Donley has traveled all over the country to pick up collections. Just call and talk to the people at Donley Auctions at 815-923-7000. Donley Auctions is your trusted partner in turning your collections into cash. DonleyAuctions.com.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
How can you get from here to there? We've got the answer from the AM 560 Traffic Center.
On the tollways, expect delays on the tri-state either direction, but the Jane Addams is clear. Scattered delays eastbound Reagan, southbound 355 as well. Southbound 53, watch out for an accident at Algonquin Road. On the Edens, going out, no troubles. The Kennedy downtown to the airport is an hour. Accident reported at Armitage. And the outbound Eisenhower 1 hour and 25 minutes to 390. Stevenson out also an hour to 355 and 30 minutes outbound Ryan. Slowing in the express lanes 33rd to Marquette. There is a crash inbound Ford at 103rd, but it's off to the side. Still seeing delays though. This report is a service of Steiner Homes. Building homes is more than a business, it's a calling. Family owned and dedicated to building custom homes with care, integrity, and craftsmanship you can trust. Visit SteinerHomesLTD.com, Northwest Indiana's leading home builder. Steiner Homes, love where you live. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchak.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 66. On Friday, expect nice weather with sunshine and a few clouds, reaching a high of 81. Friday night will be clear to partly cloudy with a low of 66. Saturday will be more humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
I love America. I love the Constitution. I love the First Amendment. I want to carry and all guns. I love property. And let me tell you something. If you care about your country, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag.
We are about to talk some business. Are you ready? We're going to talk business. We're going to talk big business. We're going to talk small business. We're going to talk business growth and the true fundamental principles of capitalism. And my friend, who I'm going to bring on, is a doctor of economics. His whole life studying economics and then looking at some men's magazines just because he wanted to look good when he's on TV. Successful. And he does. He does. One thing, though, I was just thinking, now that the crack smoker, the fake teeth, Hunter Biden, is back on the tour. When we talk money, don't you think it's important to understand the kind of real Renaissance financial wizard Hunter Biden was?
The first chart here shows a bank record showing a $1 million wire transfer into the account of Hudson West 3 from CEFC Limited on November 2nd, 2017. As Senator Grassley and I have already established, CEFC is effectively an arm of the Communist Chinese regime. It is also important to note that at the time of this transfer, in November 2017, Hunter Biden was already invested in and providing management for Hudson West 3. So a company that was effectively an arm of the Chinese government transferred $1 million in November 2017 to a company that Hunter Biden is managing and is invested in.
What for? Consulting. Ooh, now there's some business right there. E.J. Antoni, who needs numbers, productivity of markets, true growth, when you can get $1 million from some Chinese communists if you promise your dad will craft policies to make them trillionaires? What do you think?
Shaun, what are you having me on for? I mean, frankly, you need to have Hunter Biden on. He's the one who knows how to make the big bucks. I feel like, what am I, chopped liver here? I mean,
were you ever on the board of an energy company?
Wire transfer?
No. How about a board of an energy company? You ever on a board of an international oil company, one of the only two energy companies in Ukraine? Of course not. This guy's a financial wizard. Why isn't he on CNBC? Can you ask Stuart Varney if there's talk of a Hunter Biden crack hour for me?
Shaun, look, I'm going out on a limb here, so I could be wildly off. But something tells me maybe he's not getting all these positions for his financial acumen. Maybe, again, long shot here, maybe it has something to do with, I don't know, connections, influence, backroom deals. What do you think?
Well, and don't forget about the Chinese entertainment company. He was also on a Chinese entertainment company. In fact, when you look at his real resume, he has pretty much done everything from international banking to energy policies to entertainment. A true Renaissance man. But here's what the broader point is. See, his low-life rat trader father added $9 trillion onto our national debt in 4 years. It is the most money in the shortest period of time in world history. And we're going to play patty cake now. You see, here's what I want to do. What I want to do is invalidate the most obvious election theft in U.S. history. Claw back all of anything this imbecile signed or we pretend is a bill, and at least go back to when Trump was robbed, because that's the only way we can slow down this automatic fraud that is spending. And as you see these senators pretend to care about a war in Iran, these are the same simpletons that rubber stamped $300 billion to Ukraine. And it was orchestrated by the Biden mafia, only following the path of the Obama mafia. I really think if we don't start playing hardball, these time goes by fast, brother. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Shaun, you're absolutely right. And look, at the end of the day, if Congress, including those clowns in the Senate, if they're not willing to actually cut spending, if they're not willing to do what needs to be done and what should have been done years ago, then the bond market's going to force them to do it. I mean, look at today, and forgive me if you already talked about this, but you had the 2 and the 10-year hitting the highest yields of the year, setting new records for 2026. The market's waking up to this. Yields are converging at about 5%, it looks like. That is going to absolutely break the back of this federal budget. You're knocking on the door of $40 trillion in debt right now. 5% yield. Do the math. I mean, we're already paying by the end of this fiscal year, Shaun. We're gonna cross $1.3 trillion in interest on the debt. Imagine when the average interest rate on the entire debt gets up to 5%. Because I got news for you. Well, not you. You already know this, but I got news for the audience. All of that old debt that was issued at 1%, 2%, 3%, it's coming due, and it's simply rolling over. We can't pay off the debt, so we just borrow new money to pay off the old. That means you're exchanging 2% debt for 5% debt, plus all of the freshly borrowed money for today's spending is also being issued, obviously, at 5%. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Again, the bond market is already waking up to it. We can't afford to spend any more money. And if Congress won't make the cuts, the bond market is going to force them to.
Well, that's ghettonomics, as it's referred to every day from 4 to 7 Central. That's what it is. It's ghettonomics. It's the same kind of fraudulent lie, financial crime perpetrated on people that Democrat areas do. And what the Democrats in Congress and the Senate, with a little help from the economic illiterate so-called Republicans, what they've done is force the entire country to adopt ghettonomics because they didn't understand the magnitude of their decisions. They didn't understand what their duty really is. It's not to your constituents, it's to the principles of the country, which are the principles of financial solvency. I'm so tired of pretending that these imbeciles like John Thune, who I don't know what he's ever done. What has he ever done in his life? From my research is he was Mitch McConnell's page, his lap boy, went to law school, became a lawyer, went right into politics, just like Mitch, just like all these other idiots. And it's the Senate that's been jamming up everything, and it's Republicans. So I don't ever want to hear it. And you tell these people, don't ever tell people to vote Republican again. Because you get a John Thune, you get a Mitch McConnell, which I got $20, says he's been dead for 3 weeks, or you get a Murkowski or Collins. You're not on my freckin' side. You don't know your ass from your elbow. You certainly don't know the magnitude of what your responsibility is, and you're going to force us into a market correction or a problem that should have never existed. None of what happened today should exist.
Yeah, Shaun, I mean, look, the Republicans got a serious problem. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. They got a really, really serious problem, I think, because you had a record amount of young people come out and vote, and they voted for Donald Trump. He didn't get the majority of that group. That's not what I'm saying. That's obvious. But Republicans never do. What was so shocking was the incredible percentage of people in that category that broke for Trump.
Well,
right? In the same way he made such incredible inroads with Hispanics. And the reason he got so many young people is because Republicans convinced so many young people to vote for the first time. It's a demographic with notoriously low turnout. So they got all of these people to come out and vote for the first time, and now they're all incredibly disappointed.
That was Charlie Kirk, in my opinion. He was the Pied Piper of that whole movement, in my opinion. But
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, but what have the Republicans delivered? We were promised DOGE and trillions of dollars in spending cuts. Republicans decide not to put that into statute, even though DOGE handed it to them on a silver platter. We have all this war spending now. We have oil at again knocking on the door of $100 a barrel. Cost of living is still a problem, and I lay a lot of this blame at the feet of Congress. But regardless of who gets the blame, the fact is, I think Republicans have a big problem. They promised a lot, and they haven't yet delivered.
Well, I think this is also what I'm optimistic about, and I mean it. This is the thing I've watched my whole life, right? The fraud system, the duopoly of thievery and skullduggery. Heads they win, tails we lose. That's what we've always played, like the old gangsters in my neighborhood, right? That's what it is. That's who John Thune is. John Thune's a feckless fraud moron who should be ashamed of himself if he had any dignity or character. But you know who knows that? These kids who voted like you said. And what Donald Trump has always represented, I just can't figure it out why he doesn't pull the pin. He is the third party. Him and him alone. Now, can he take Rubio? Absolutely. But he's old now. Let's call it what it is. Now's the time to break the back of the very party that stabbed you in yours. These scum, Murkowski, Tillis, Cornyn, these are the scourge that couldn't wait to get back to business as usual because they made a fortune when these economic illiterate politicians from Barack Obama to Biden started to crank out the debt. They unmoored us from financial responsibilities. They crafted policies, and everybody got their beak wet. That's how they get rich. They don't want a capitalist in the White House. They certainly don't want another capitalist after Trump. So Trump has the option, and I think he should do it now. I know the midterms, right here with the midterms. Everybody he backs, people are going to pick anyway. This is now the third party. End of story. Do it when you're in power. So you don't need these idiots anymore.
Yeah, Shaun, it's amazing how. Well, let me put it this way. Trump came down that escalator and he started asking a bunch of questions that you're not allowed to ask. He started saying a bunch of things that you're not allowed to say. The Republican Party didn't want him. They begrudgingly had him in the primaries. They begrudgingly had him in the debates. And he just cleaned everybody's clock by saying what I think a lot of us just in our hearts knew was true, even if we're not necessarily allowed to say it in polite company or whatever the case may be. But, he talked about...
Well, I don't hang with polite company. You're the politest guy I know. Yeah. And now I want you to understand what's going on. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this dingbat, this moron here. What's her name? Salazar?
We're talking about those millions and millions of illegals, undocumented people who belong to my community. Probably 80% of the undocumented belong to the Hispanics, the largest and fastest growing minority in the country. So why don't we give them dignity? Let them stay, those who do not have
no one can ever give someone else dignity. If they wanted dignity, they would have come here under the rule of law like the 30 million people that did so before them. I am so sick of this idiot. Throw this $2 whore out onto Biscayne Boulevard and don't ever vote for her ass again. And that goes with the same scumbag who crafted H.R. 9535 under agriculture. He's trying to do the same fracking thing.
Yeah, dignity is not handed out like candy, okay? Dignity is earned. The people who came to this country and made it great, the people who built cities like Chicago, they came here legally and they worked their tails off. They didn't live off the dole. They didn't essentially penalize American citizens by making those Americans go to work and pay taxes so that they could come here illegally and then live off of the taxpayer dime. So spare me this dignity nonsense. If you want dignity, follow the law. If you want dignity, go back to where you came from and enter the country legally like everybody else had to do until Biden threw the borders open, right? That's how you get dignity, by actually following the rules, by doing the right thing. There's no dignity in breaking the rules. There's no dignity in making other people pay for your life.
And
that's not
her community is primarily legal. They're primarily from Cuba, but they're legally here. They came here at a time, they followed the certain rules. Some of them are from the agreement with that moron Jimmy Carter. These are their grandkids and the rest of it. However, what an insult to the most proud Americans. You know, you could argue if the one of the ethnicities with the greatest pride and liberty is the former communists from Cuba, like my best friend, who is right now with his parents in Miami. And the balls of this girl to give innuendo that they are somehow linked to an illegal alien because they may come from Spanish heritage way back 1,000 years. That's the race game, but it's also an intellectual fraud. And you insult every person of any nationality, but specifically Hispanics, the ones who did it right. There is one reason and one reason only to come here illegally, and that is anonymity. You're either hiding from a criminal past or you're prepared to be a criminal here. End of story. There are 8 pathways. I'm so sick and tired of this. This is a low IQ, race-based argument that scumbags in Chicago make, not us. I want to throw every one of these fraud Republicans. I would never vote for any one of them.
Yeah, and Shaun, look, the whole reason, well, let's think of it in economic terms, right? The counterfeit version of something has no value, right? It's the real thing that has the value. The counterfeit is it's fool's gold, right? It's not real. And that's effectively, I think, what she and many others confuse when they talk about the value of immigrants and everything. And they're really trying to take the real value of honest, hardworking, legal immigrants and impart that unfairly onto these illegal aliens when that's simply not the case. Again, the dignity and the value of these immigrants comes from the fact that they enter the country first legally and then what they do thereafter, such as, again, working hard, starting their own business, you name it.
So, but the money that's been made in the name of this, I've got a story on the board, EJ, that you would love. It's about a Chinese billionaire who owns a hotel in L.A. And during COVID, he cuts a deal with the L.A. scum Democrats. They give this guy a $100 million contract for 1 year. And it's per room, not per alien. So he rents out every room and he puts 20% of the hotel. That's all he ever turns over. He puts homeless Americans and illegal aliens in it. And he charges for the whole, he doesn't rent out the other 80%. And he makes a fracking fortune. And he's supposed to throw in food, but he cuts a deal midway through where they pay him double for the food. So he takes a $100 million contract. He turns it into 170, 180 million the whole time from China. He doesn't even live here. And that's all this is. Same thing in Chicago. They went to these ghetto rat motels that nobody wanted to go to if you were sober or have an IQ over 60 or any kind of sense of what soap is. And they filled it to capacity. They made a fracking fortune. They doctor the profits and then they sell it to some conglomerate as if it's a functioning, decent hotel off an expressway. I mean, what you're really dealing with here is financial crimes, and none of it is possible if Joe Biden doesn't first steal the election. And the evidence that come out now with the double counting and the rest of it, and Jack Smith lying to Congress and the rest of it, do the people in Washington where you live know that right now I want to hear more of the Jack Smith turned over to the DOJ? I want everybody to go to prison. Everybody. And I'm not alone. There are tens of millions of people like me. And I don't want to hear about midterms. Don't say midterms. I'm from Illinois. You know who runs in Illinois? One good guy for 50 scoundrels. So I don't care. We'll figure out who the good guy is. He ain't going to win anyway in these Democrat areas. They steal elections.
Shaun, in terms of people, what are they saying here in D.C.? I mean, it really is astonishing. I don't know if you saw, but our friend Larry Kudlow, he was interviewing a senator and Republican.
Yeah, Lakeford.
Exactly, and he's just basically berating him, essentially saying, "What the heck are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
And it really is amazing how once these politicians essentially they do these hearings or they do these stunts or these press conferences, sometimes even these media interviews, to just get the quick 30-second clip they want for a donor email, and then they're done with it. And then they kick the issue to the curb because once they're done, I guess, once they're done using it as a fundraising opportunity, it is of no further use to them. And then they just don't care. It is absolutely astonishing. So whether it's the spending, whether it's the election transparency issues that you're talking about, you name it. These guys, and maybe not all of them, but it certainly seems like the vast majority of them, Shaun.
It's a game. You know what it is? They just want to wait them out. They want to wait this time out. They want to go back to the Bush years. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Now, we've only got a few weeks, so I'm going to talk to you every week. Obviously, I love these, at least as long as you can before Shaun Fest. But I'm going to tell you right now, by Shaun Fest. Now, you know how I like to bet. I'm going to, with 2 cigars. 2 cigars, we smoke it there. There'll be cigars there. Okay, so guy with a cigar table. 2 cigars, I buy or you buy. I am going to tell you right now, Mitch Dracula, in my opinion, I speculate, has been dead for weeks. This will go down as the greatest political scandal, and it'll suck all the air out of the tent that Joe Biden stole the election, Barack Obama ordered the CIA and the NSA and the DIA and all the rest of them to make up the Russia collusion thing. It'll suck it all up because, after all, the Republicans, the guy's been mortadell. He's finito. Where is he? I don't buy that picture at all. In fact, I think he looked a lot like Gary Oldman in Dracula. What do you think?
Shaun, it will be beyond suspicious if it turns out that he passes away right after that deadline coming up.
Oh, yeah. I smell a rat. That's why I love having you on. You risk your entire career by speaking to me as you are in the belly of the beast. And so I appreciate it. I love you. Thanks. We'll keep an eye out for you on Stuart Varney.
Hey, Shaun, pleasure's all mine. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you. We'll be back with your calls and comments.
Broadcasting from the petri dish of corruption known as the state of Illinois.
In the upper Midwest, the nation, and around the world.
This is the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you ever wondered, with all the different religions and interpretations of the Bible, how you can be sure that you're on the right path in your spiritual journey? The powerful new book, You and God by Peter Philippi, helps you answer this question and discover how to establish a truly personal relationship with God through biblical understanding and faith. Get your copy of You and God by Peter Philippi today by visiting pbmusa.org. That's pbmusa.org.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com, to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
Maybe you've thought about taking a cruise. Maybe you've even talked yourself out of it. But this is not just another vacation. This is the Gulf of America cruise. 7 days through the Caribbean with Mike Gallagher, Scott Jennings, Larry O'Connor, Jennifer Horn, and a ship full of people who love this country. No packing and unpacking, no complicated planning, just great destinations, meaningful conversations, and a once-in-a-generation celebration of America's 250th. This November. Be there. Text CRUISE to 94878 to book your cabin today.
See, being in the real estate business, I can appreciate David Hochberg because I deal with it on a regular basis. Like today, I talked to somebody else, a client of a client, and they had this mortgage person that they wanted to help buy a condo. And I talked to this imbecile. And it was like, are you out of your fracking mind? Call David Hochberg. David Hochberg. And I'll give you one of the examples. I mean, there are tens of thousands of testimonies of what kind of person he is. But this is a very, very good one. He was looking to move closer to his grandkids, right? So his wife and him were looking to purchase a condo to be near the grandkids. They reached out. They contacted Team Hochberg. When you're a finance guy and you're doing a condo, there's so much you have to know. You have to know about the HOA. You have to know if there's mandatory memberships, all kinds of things. You have to look at the condo docs. So here's what he says. He knows his stuff like the back of his hand. No gimmicks, no BS. Thank you, David. Chuck and his wife wanted to be by the grandkids. If they would have called this idiot I dealt with today, they would have lost the condo. You don't want to lose the condo. You want to know aside from the tax advantages, what needs to be collected and understood before you even write the contract, then call him. He's easy to talk to. 855-563-2843. That number again is 855-563-2843. Now, he knows one thing. I got a pet peeve. If I'm talking to somebody on the phone and they're chewing, I get very upset. Odds are he'll be chewing. But if you tell him you called because you heard it on my show, he'll stop chewing because he'll know you're like me. 855-563-2843 or online at 56david.com. That's 56david.com. ACM, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS, 643114. When we get back, we're going to go to the lines 312-642-5600 after Mike Scott.
Good evening, Shaun. In the QC Kinetics newsroom, an investigation is underway after a Thursday morning chase involving deputies from Northwest Indiana ended in a rollover crash on the city's far south side. It happened around 2:30 a.m. in the 2100 block of West 115th in the Morgan Park community. The House today narrowly passing a resolution to halt U.S. military action in Iran. Governor J.B. Pritzker says electronic monitoring of a suspect on pretrial release apparently didn't work out in the case of a 10-time convicted felon detained in the governor's backyard. Pritzker says Cook County judges need to pay attention as they try to reform the electronic monitoring system.
Should people get this kind of monitoring? How is that monitoring taking place? Is it being done well enough? It clearly, in this case, wasn't.
Chicago sports, the legend Patrick Kane back with the Blackhawks. 2 years, $16 million. The news, a service of the AM 560 store. Order T-shirts, hoodies, and more when you go to 560theanswer.com/store. Your next news update is at 6. Continuous news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. And up next, a check of the evening roads with Jill Urchak.
It's trouble-free on the outbound Edens and the Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, 55 minutes. Eisenhower, 1 hour and a half. Post Office to 390. And we're seeing delays on the outbound Stevenson. Not too bad, though, at 50 out to the Veterans Memorial Tollway from DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Outbound Ryan, 25 minutes. It remains sluggish in the Express 33rd to the Stevenson. Bishop Ford slowing down outbound because of construction from 115th down to 159th. Still heavy along DuSable Lakeshore Drive south and north. Same for the Tri-State with an accident southbound at the Eisenhower. Also eastbound Reagan and southbound 355, both slow. This report is a service of the daily podcast of Chicago's Morning Answer and the Shaun Thompson Show. Hear both shows with limited commercials when you subscribe for free to the daily podcast at 560theanswer.com/podcast. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchak.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low of 66. On Friday, it'll be pleasant with a mix of sunshine and a few clouds, reaching a high of 81. Friday night will be clear to partly cloudy with a low of 66. Saturday will bring higher humidity levels along with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Time now for a check of the lowest gas prices in Chicagoland.
In Lake County, Regular no lead is $3.64 a gallon at the Sam's Club in Gurnee, $3.75 a gallon at the Thorntons on Green Bay Road in Waukegan, and $3.79 a gallon at the S&K on Rollins Road in Round Lake Heights.
If you see a low gas price, text the word gas to 312-642-5600, followed by the price and location. And listen each weekday afternoon at 12:30 and 5:30 to hear the lowest gas prices in Chicagoland.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year. They want to make 2026 the best year ever. So to thank you, they are giving you free shipping on your entire order and wholesale pricing. So they are bringing back the mega sale. For example, the classic MyPillows, regularly $49.98, now only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the Made in the USA MyPillow My Mattress Topper and save up to $100. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY or call 800-489-0201 and use promo code LIBERTY. These offers won't last long, so call 800-489-0201 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY. Order now and your entire order ships absolutely free.
Are you 65 or older and dealing with chronic knee or shoulder pain? You're not alone. At the Joint Relief Institute, we've helped thousands find real relief without surgery. Our non-surgical, FDA-approved treatment uses hyaluronic gel that acts like a cushion between the bones in your knee. As we age, the cushion naturally wears down, causing painful grinding and popping. But our gel restores that cushion, allowing your knee to move smoothly again. Ready to stop the pain and get back to doing what you love? Call the Joint Relief Institute at 708-315-6800. Again, that's 708-315-6800.
Move better, live better with JRI.
Move better and live better with JRI. Contact the Joint Relief Institute today and get back to doing what you love. Call 708-315-6800 or visit jointreliefinstitute.com. Locations in Glenview, Oak Brook, and Orland Park. Call 708-315-6800. Medicare and most private insurance plans accepted. Reclaim your mobility with the Joint Relief Institute.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This hour of The Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. Classic cars, vintage motorcycles, gas pumps, drive up the value at auction. DonleyAuctions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
See, it's a real easy discussion to have. If you want to live in areas where the government protects the predators, the thieves, the robbers, the rapists, the illegal aliens, then go live where Democrats are. It's the same no matter where, no matter what state.
I mean, just 10 days out of prison, that is simply unacceptable.
That is the Brooklyn Park police chief talking about a man they just arrested hours ago. They say he broke into 2 homes and sexually assaulted the women inside. Those crimes happened at homes within walking distance of each other. As you heard,
it's because he didn't have a job, didn't have a car. So he raped one, walked a couple blocks, raped another one, and who let him out of prison? Democrats.
The attacks happened just days after the suspect got out of prison. Ashley Grams is in the newsroom with how investigators tracked him down. Ashley?
Yeah, Frank, investigators from the county and the state were working this case, but ultimately the police chief says it was a sergeant from the Brooklyn Park Police Department who tracked down the suspect. He's someone local police knew, and he has a criminal history. A SWAT team swarmed this Brooklyn Park townhome complex on the corner of Hampshire Avenue and Brooklyn Boulevard. Law enforcement in tactical gear moved in and out of a single unit, taking one man into custody.
We believe we have arrested the suspect who committed these offenses.
Just hours earlier, the Brooklyn Park police chief held a press conference warning a man who broke into 2 homes and sexually assaulted 2 women at gunpoint was on the loose.
The person we are looking for is a light-skinned black male.
Now, the chief says that man, 25-year-old Darius Olson Baker, is in custody. The first attack happened last Friday around 5 in the morning on the 7600 block of Hampshire Avenue North, inside a townhome just down from where Olson Baker was arrested.
I'm like, please, don't do this. I don't have money. I don't have anything, please.
And who do they rob?
when I say they illegal aliens. Other people of the same national origin.
30-year-old man is facing murder charges after he allegedly shot and killed 3 employees at the apartment complex where he lived.
This all happened inside the leasing office of the Davern Park Apartments in St. Paul late.
So the other one was Brooklyn. This is Minnesota. And this shooting spree is done by an illegal alien. Killed 3 Minnesotans.
Yesterday afternoon, Fox 9's Karen Scullin joining us now with what we've learned today as the charges were filed. Karen?
Really just a horrific incident unfolded here at the leasing office, and charging documents show it was all caught on surveillance camera. 2 employees shot 6 times each. A 3rd employee killed off camera, but screams and 4 shots could be heard. Flowers in memory of 3 people killed inside the leasing office of Davern Park Apartments.
You know, the Americans that were working and had a job. I just want to revisit what Salazar said.
We're talking about those millions and millions of illegals, undocumented people who belong to my community. Probably 80% of the undocumented belong to the Hispanics, the largest and fastest growing minority in the country. So why don't we give them dignity?
Are you going to give this scumbag who killed 3 American women who were working, you're going to give him dignity? You're going to give the family members left behind dignity? Who are you going to give dignity to, stupid?
All of them employees of Mid-Continent Management Corporation. Nancy Zambrano of Invergrove Heights, Adam Wilwarding of Oakdale, and Dina Silcox of St. Paul. Last night, as word spread about what happened, the grief was palpable, the pain felt by many. These men have been living at Davern Park for a combined 32 years and knew Dina Silcox well.
I was sad, real sad. I lost a good friend.
Last night, the men recall a lot of chaos just before 5 p.m.
I was in my back. I live in the back here. I was laying on my couch, and I heard 8 gunshots.
Do you know why the illegal alien, the illiterate scumbag murdering pig, why he killed him, Squirrel? Because he didn't understand. He signed a lease, and there was a parking issue. And all he had to do was understand the language, how to write, and read and think. But he couldn't. You know why, Squirrel? The first decision he made when he was coming to America was, how could I do it illegally?
And like he was just saying, Whitey right here was saying that I went up to knock on his door and I asked him, did he hear anything?
And it was just like half the police department went out here. And
by the way, these 2 friends, they remind you why you can't listen to these political whores, whether they pretend to be reporters or not. There's 2 guys sitting there, 2 old men. One is black and one is white. Call him Whitey. They're laughing, they're joking, been friends for years. Hey, talk to a Democrat, they'll say there's some, it's terrible race relations. Shut the, you've never been right in your life, you Democrat scum.
Trenton, it really got crazy at night. I mean, they were all over, and then the helicopters were flying above us. So, and then they had the yellow tape, of course.
Charging documents say 30-year-old Segab Binesu told investigators he had planned to join the military and sold his car. He called the leasing office to cancel his parking contract, but was told he couldn't do that. Binesu admits then going to the office, but did not say what happened there. However, court documents show that a surveillance camera inside the office caught everything as it unfolded.
He was going to join the military. Oh, were you? After you figured out how to get here legally from being here illegally?
Department of Homeland Security told me he's from El Salvador and he's in the country illegally. I looked into his criminal history, and he has a lengthy rap sheet.
Oh, that's another one. That's Virginia. You expect it. We'll do Illinois and Chicago next. Jessica Jackson, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Having a time of my life, kid.
I guess we all are in Chicago and Illinois these days.
Yeah, you better come with me. You give me a ride back home. But go ahead.
Well, I heard that you was roasting Darren Bailey earlier, of governor candidate for the upcoming election, due to his, absenteeism?
I'm roasting him all the way around. I roasted him the first time he ran. Never made sense to me. This time is even more preposterous. But that's just me. I'm a jerk.
it's even more preposterous. You know, I met with Darren Bailey, and I saw Darren Bailey come down to City Hall and had an opportunity to public speak. I don't know if you saw that segment or not a couple of months ago.
Yes, I did see.
And then a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I reached out to him to ask him, where has he been? You know, and he said that, you know, he had been on vacation with his family, which, of course, is a good thing. But then the next day I saw him because he said he was coming back to the Chicago area. So the next day I saw him on the David Seaton show.
Now, you and I know who you are. I've seen you, and, you know, I appreciate you. But we've never met, right? We've never. No. I'm going to give you how my brain works. Because you have this thing that my mother used to have and that good people have. And that thing is, you assume people talking to you are telling you the truth. But I want to revisit something you said that I just picked up on. Now, you said he was on vacation with his family, and that's why he hasn't been around, correct?
Yes.
Well, isn't the election in 4 months?
Yes.
So you go on vacation now with your family? I just want to be clear, because I don't take vacation. Jessica, you know when I take vacation? When the station says nobody's going to be here. That you could come if you want to, but the doors are locked. That's when I take it. You're in the middle of running for governor. I just want to be clear. And you say, I was on vacation with my family. You know, this is the problem I have. I can't deal with liars, Jessica. I really can't. I'm a terrible person. I cannot be polite to someone I know is urinating in my ear telling me it's raining. I can't do it. But that's just me. So right there, just to show the importance in his mind of what this governor's race is, you're 4 months out. And you say, you know what? Now's a good time for a vacation. Honey, get in the car. Is that how it works? It's ridiculous to me. But that's me, Jessica. Go ahead.
Well, you know, this is what I can say. I can be family first. I can promote the ideology of family first. Let's be crystal clear on that. However, in this day and time of technology and in this place of importance, like you're saying, 4 months away from a major election, you got to find some way to still be visible. Okay, so now you were on the vacation, now you're back. Okay, I'm going to need you to be visibly back. You are in Chicago. I'm going to need you to be visibly around Chicago. See, my concern is this a legitimate run?
No.
Are you actually trying to run, or is this another J.B. Priester payoff?
Well,
or whatever.
Well, I think the answer is you go on vacation with 4 months to the election. The answer to your question. You know, I don't like a lot of people, and during this campaign, one in particular, if he would have been 10 years younger or me 10 years older, we'd have been fist fighting in the parking lot. But at least he had I don't agree with him on anything, but at least he had the fortitude, the character to go out and tell people who he was. At least he talked to the other candidates. This whole thing where you don't think, let me get this straight. You think you don't have to tell the people of Illinois what you are, who you stand for, or debate the other 4 candidates running? And now you want me to step and fetch and get in line? You got the wrong guy. And I got news for you. There's 1 million, maybe 1.5 million people like me that feel the exact same way. They might not say it. But I wouldn't dirty my shoes by walking into an election place to vote for him. That's me. Now, I got a friend of mine who gets mad at me. And he says, no, you gotta play with the best you can and do this. And he's not that bad of a guy. Maybe not. But you either have courage or you die 1,000 deaths a day. And to me, that's what a coward is. To me, he's a coward.
I know that if he's running a real campaign, Shaun, he's got to do a whole lot better, because at the end of the day, J.B. Priester has to get out of office. So whatever this game is that's being played, they better unplay it, because J.B. Priester, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't even need to even get to that poll for November. No. He doesn't. Tony Preckwinkle doesn't. Mayor Brandon Johnson does it. This is why I'm constantly asking for Trump to come into Chicago, to come into Illinois, to bring the DOJ here, to bust all this up.
Yeah, that's your only hope, though.
That's our only hope. And I think that collectively, as Chicagoans and Illinoisans, we need to start pushing that. For Trump to come into Chicago. And deal with this right now so that none of these clowns can even see November. And if Darren Bailey is not for real, then the Republicans better find a substitute real fast, because the plan is that J.B. Pritzker can't even run.
You know, I mean, the reality of where we are, the gravity of who's in charge of it, the scandal of how much they get away with, and this whole thing with that guy who looks like Cecil the Turtle that beat Bugs Bunny, that guy, the Speaker of the House, Chris Welch, and the rest of it. I mean, it's to me, it's such a cancer of character. The lying, the fraud, the money, the businesses that left. Yeah. Your only hope is prosecution, because you ain't going to get a fair election. Tony Preckwinkle, come on now. It's Cook County. I mean, at a certain point, we're insulting ourselves if we pretend we got a chance, you know. But listen, I'm up against the clock. I love you. I can't wait to meet you in person. And
likewise.
You want to know? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're too good for this trashy thing. This is a trashy thing to partake in this, because they insult you, they insult me, they insult themselves. They don't even know it. Jessica, thanks. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You need a construction company, but who?
Call Crosscom.
A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Crosscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Crosscom.
Call Crosscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Crosscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Crosscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Crosscom.
Crosscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Crosscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high-quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com.
Hey, y'all, I'm Willie Robertson.
And I'm Corey Robertson.
We partnered with Echo. It's a new platform, not just streaming.
Movies and series that are safe for your family.
Echo.
I love a podcast.
Plus, Echo Daily Devotionals.
Echo. Hey, Willie, what is Echo?
Echo is my pet squirrel. Okay, Doc. Echo is not just faith-friendly, it is faith-driven.
Be a part of something better.
Echo.
Echo.
That's where I want to be.
That's EKKL.com.
Subscribe now.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $283. There are only two good things about aging: wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part? My guidance costs you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at two different options: debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
All right, so far, Squirrel, we went after the Barack Obama side saddle mafia, the Marxists, the communists, the socialists, the takers versus the makers. We've gone after Illinois Republicans. What do you say we do the Islamo-Nazis next? I'm in. We will be joined by the CEO of the David Horowitz Freedom Center, Daniel Greenfield, to tell us what CARE is doing on September 12th in Washington, D.C. It's not going to make you happy, but he will, as we talk to Daniel Greenfield after Foxweiser News.
For a U.S. ally, I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Iran's Revolutionary Guard threatening the U.K. as it allows U.S. forces to use its bases to launch strikes against Iran.
Saying that air bases in Britain are legitimate targets due to the fact that U.S. B-1 bomber raids are taking place from air bases in Britain. The Revolutionary Guard saying now those bases could come under attack by Iran. Britain's government responding quickly, saying the UK stands ready 24/7 to defend itself. Of course, those B-1 bombers now in use carry a huge conventional payload, 75,000 pounds of weapons. They can be refueled in the air. They don't have stealth capability, but when you control the skies, you don't need stealth.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. President Trump warning Yemen's Houthi rebels after they attacked Saudi tankers in the Red Sea that if they do it again, the U.S. will hold them and Iran responsible. This as a new Fox News poll looks at voters' opinions on the Iran conflict.
At the moment, the war in Iran is opposed by 56% of registered voters. That number was 60% in May. When it comes to how the president is handling Iran, slightly more than a third of respondents, 34%, like what he's doing.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The poll also found 48% of respondents believe the conflict will not result in a peace deal. Tropical storm Bertha is fading out after making a second landfall earlier today near the Texas-Louisiana border.
Top winds down to 40 miles per hour, and those winds are occurring out over the Gulf of Mexico. Still, tropical storm warnings in effect for the western parts of Louisiana and the extreme eastern parts of coastal Texas.
Fox Weather's Brian Norcross. No deaths or significant damage have been reported since Bertha formed Monday in the Gulf south of the Florida Panhandle. America's listening to Fox News.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer from the AM 560 Traffic Center.
On the Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, 50 minutes while the outbound Eden's still good. And that slows down inbound, though, at 48 minutes in from Lake Cook Road. On the Eisenhower, it's an hour and 20. Post Office to 390 Stevenson. Crash at Harlem on the side, making it 55 minutes in fact, 55. Also out to 355. Dan Ryan, 25 to 95th, tight in those express lanes. Pershing to Marquette, we're seeing roadwork delays on the outbound 4 to 115th to 159th. Solid conditions on the Tri-State to Saba Lakeshore Drive, the Reagan, and 355. They all caught up either way. Northbound 53, crash at the Jane Addams in the right lane. This report is a service of Salem Surround, a local digital marketing agency providing high-performing digital solutions to surround your target audience. Go to surroundchicago.com today. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchak.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 66. On Friday, expect nice weather with sunshine and a few clouds, reaching a high of 81. Friday night will be clear to partly cloudy with a low of 66. Saturday will be more humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Time's up. The IRS isn't waiting. They're coming for your paycheck, your bank account, even your home. You ignored the letters. You thought it would go away. It won't. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, you are already in the crosshairs of the IRS. Wage garnishments, bank levies, tax liens, they're not threats. They're next. But here's the truth. You still have a chance to fight back. This is Patrick Noon with PJN Tax Solutions Group. We are a local tax resolution firm located right here in St. Charles, Illinois. Don't call some 1-800-FIRM 10 states away. We're right here. Call us now at 630-415-5296. We don't do fluff. We get results. Call us now, 630-415-5296. That number again, 630-415-5296. Or just Google, I want the IRS off my ASS.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
I noticed something earlier this week in covering so many of the stories, so many of these scandals, but particularly a little modus operandi among so-called squad members and their spouses. Now, I believe if you are married to Rashida Tlaib, which I'm quite sure translates to face of a camel's ass, you are already deserving a little something. I mean, after all, you got to roll over and see her snoring on the pillow. Ayanna Pressley, who's bald, her husband, ex-con for 10 years, he got a real score earlier this week.
This squad member's having a very bad, no good week. Ayanna Presley's husband miraculously got the winning bid on a $2 billion contract in Massachusetts, and the corruption stinks to high heaven. A couple of weeks ago, the state awarded Presley's husband and his associates a $2 billion contract to build and run a courthouse, which they are then going to rent back to the state for 40 years. That alone.
That's a good scam. And then you think about Ileana Omar. She's been married 5 times, once to her brother. Which money is she hiding in the spouse's name? You know who wrote about this squirrel? Our next guest, CEO of the David Horowitz Freedom Center and author of Domestic Enemies, Daniel Greenfield. How are you?
I'm doing good, but, these husbands, the husbands of the squad members, they seem to be doing a whole lot better.
Here we are working like 2 suckers, Daniel. I mean, at a certain point, between Ro Khanna and the insider trading, 17 trades a day, each trade, none of them losers, each trade $16,500 a day of profit. And you look at all of this whole thing, tracing back to so many of these countries of origin like Somalia. And the real common denominator among them is a hatred of America, a hatred of American success, a hatred of the principles of America. So when you see CARE organizing a D.C. convention the day after September 11th, I mean, they're just making fun of us, aren't they?
Yeah, they're showing us how much they hate us. Whether it's CARE, whether it's Ro Khanna, his kids own shares in a golf club, and he's there trying to be the socialist heir to Bernie Sanders. These people are incredibly corrupt, and they just are rubbing it in our faces.
And when you see the level of fraud that we've uncovered, when you see the scandals, I've got a girl on the board that's nauseating to hear. She's got every ailment under the sun. And you look at the way in which our entitlement sector combined with our public education in this country is just under $4 trillion a year. It's incumbent upon us to not only reveal these scandals and talk about them, but change the way in which they're funded. Don't you think? Because if it wasn't for the structure of funding it the way we do, it wouldn't be so easy to rob the American people, would it?
Absolutely. We're paying more and more money for worse results. After spending over $1 trillion in education, we're actually getting worse and worse test scores. We're getting some of the worst test scores in history. And the teachers' unions right away, they get up and they demand more money, over 6 figures for teachers in Chicago, and free abortions, because, of course, this is a major part of teaching kids to read, free abortions.
And one of the things I went to Michigan. My brother-in-law's got a place in Michigan for 4th of July. And, I engross myself with their news. We have a station in Detroit, so I've been looking at their news for years. One of the major scandals that really doesn't get covered the way it should is in Michigan, in New York, in New Jersey, in California. The people who are practicing the Islamo-Nazism in this country from those other countries, there's a tremendous amount of these people on the dole. Somalians in Minnesota are 80% of them are on welfare. When you look at people who practice the culture of hatred in Michigan, it's a staggering percentage that are on welfare. And then we now know the breakdown of the scams in Medicare. If you are taking care of your mother in this new Obama national health care, you can get paid up to $45,000 a year. So we don't really understand the magnitude of how certain cultures have been cultivated to really take advantage of these systems. And we may be paying family members to take care of other family members. We may be financing the entire areas that are led by this revolution of the Islamo-Nazi in America.
And it gets even better because then they unionize these guys who are getting paid to take care of their family members. And then, of course, the unions pass the money along right back to the politicians who pass the money to them. It's just organized crime.
It really is. It really is. And it's a very successful scheme. When you look at the way in which the Islamo in Minnesota, the Somalians have been prosecuted, there's been one big one that I could see, 38 years for one of the key figures in this Founding Our Futures. But there's been 3 that have been overturned by judges. I'm not happy with the prosecution in Minnesota. I'm certainly not happy with the prosecution that isn't happening in Maine or in New Jersey or New York or Ohio, don't you think now is a certain time we have to take up the level of what the penalty is for robbing the people in the name of entitlements that are stolen by foreigners?
Yeah, there's just so few consequences. Right now, the FBI just got a guy named Khalid Ahmed Satari, a Palestinian, for perpetrating $547 million in healthcare fraud. That's over $500 million in healthcare fraud. We spent 3 years looking for him because he was on the run in the Middle East. Now, the incredible thing is this guy's already been locked up. He was out of prison in 2008 for pulling off some of the largest CD counterfeiting fraud. He goes right out of jail. The government tries to deport him. It can't deport him. He starts creating medical testing companies, and he manages to pull off over $500 million fraud. Then he skips bail and goes running. This guy has cost us an incredible amount of money, and that's just one guy, one Palestinian Muslim.
It's a staggering
How many more
amount.
like him are there?
Well, it's staggering. Yeah. It's staggering. You know, and this is the other thing. How could this kind of money be stolen with such little attention until what? The Trump victory? If you really realize how important that was, had Joe Biden managed to pull off another election fraud, we would never even hear about this, would we?
Of course not. This guy was donating to politicians. They're all donating to politicians. People ask, why is healthcare so expensive? This is why healthcare is so expensive. It's organized crime. It's money being moved back and forth between so-called contractors and testing companies and politicians. And of course, the politicians say, yeah, we need to be spending more money on healthcare.
Well, one of the amazing things, I had it on the board yesterday of this child, this man-child, who lived with his mother and father before he got his big first job as mayor of New York. And this notion that we are playing patty cake with him and as he pretends to hide behind a political philosophy, when all he's doing when it comes to socialism or communism is what he's doing is hiding the agenda of the mass expansion of the Islamo-Nazi global intifada. And it's never been more evident than the confession where he pretends as a mayor of New York, which has problems from soup to nuts, from the beginning to the end of Manhattan, chaos, corruption, scandal. He's going to pretend that he's going to enforce some illegitimate court to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. It truly shows that their arrogance and ignorance have no bounds because the people who support them are either getting their rent paid or they're too stupid to know what this kid is, isn't it?
Yeah, this guy went and did his World Cup party with criminals in Rikers Island. While he was doing his big speech, 15th person was pushed onto the subway tracks. 15th just this year, 70-year-old woman pushed onto the tracks by a guy with 14 priors, was in and out of the system. These are the people that Mamdani is enabling. You want to try somebody for crimes? Try Mamdani, because this guy is enabling crimes against New Yorkers every single day. Just think about it. 70-year-old woman pushed onto the subway tracks by a guy with 14 priors.
It's unbelievable. Well, this is what, this is shows broadcast out of Chicago. I'm here visiting friends to watch the news. This is what the governments do. The governments protect the predators. They use their power and they misuse it. And really, that's how easy it is to describe the difference. The difference is if you want to live in a ghetto, then vote for Democrats. If you don't. I don't understand why there's even some sort of disconnect when you see this Democrat mafia. In Maine ran a Nazi, and in Michigan is running an Islamo-Nazi. It's amazing what this has turned into, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's incredibly corrupt. We just had an investigation exposing that Abdul Al-Sayed, who's running for Senate in Michigan, was getting fake donations. They found some 88-year-old woman living in a trailer park, and officially she was supposed to be giving thousands of dollars to Abdul Al-Sayed. None of that actually money came from her. This is the guy whose actual biggest donors are a medical debt company, a Muslim medical debt company, and his father-in-law. I've got Mamdani. I just did a workup on Mamdani. He got $300,000 in donations last month for his 2029 campaign. The top donors are Muslim. They list no profession, no occupation, no location.
Well, the real scandal was happening during the Act Blue and Congress. Act Blue since 2004 has laundered $17 billion. $17 billion. $17,000 million has gone through Act Blue from foreigners, just foreigners. And, there were the scandal that O'Keefe Media Group exposed. How many years ago was that? 5 years ago, when they were just grabbing names out of the Democrat registered voters, making campaign contributions. To their credit, the scam has worked. And I'm not quite sure. I mean, you and I have talked about this. The scams are almost obvious at this point. The fraud is obvious. And now I think it's very important that this DOJ is looking at going after Jack Smith, who clearly was fraudulent in telling his excuse, in my opinion, before Congress. At least we're getting some headway. And I'm wondering to know what your thoughts are, because you do this a lot. I feel like this is the most aggressive DOJ, the most successful DOJ from the principles I want, enforced law and order of the American law. Do you feel this way? I mean, I feel like we at least have a shot.
Yeah, so many previous Republican administrations were just a waste of time. The DOJ did nothing, or they actually were functioning the way they did under the Democrats. And now there's actually a seriousness here. There's actually some consequences here. Jack Smith stuff is out of this world. This is a guy who went after a big chunk of Congress, even Democrats. This is spying that makes Watergate look like just a guy with a cup to his ear.
And, you know, that's the other thing. I used to have such an appreciation for the fact that politicians, for the bulk of my life, were nervous that these scandals would come out. They would be nervous about just some of the things you and I have talked about in the very beginning of our discussion today. This would be earth-shattering to Chicago Mafia crime syndicate Democrats. They would be like, oh, wait a minute. Do they know? Do they know who my wife is? You look at this whole thing. I don't. Is it the Clintons that broke the conscience of America, where there is no such thing as a scandal anymore?
It's also the media, in all fairness. They used to be worried about the media, that the media might report something unfavorable about them. We now see the media as programmed to carry the narrative until the moment it turns. And we saw this, for example, with Plattner just now in Maine. And then suddenly the media completely turns on a dime. The media have been covering for these guys, suddenly starts running scandal pieces. Like the media spent years pretending that Biden wasn't a dementia case. Then suddenly the signal was given, and they were all running articles. Oh, no, he needs to step away. We need to take away his keys. He's not functional anymore.
Well, you know what else is fascinating? To watch Hunter Biden on tour, the crack smoker du jour, and all of the investments, all of the consultation, all of the businesses he was privy to, from China to Ukraine, from energy companies to entertainment to amusement parks. And yet nobody asks him anything financial. This is the other thing I think we've become used to. We're used to being cultivated that it's okay to run these kind of scandals. And when all else fails, normally we're crippled with the racism, the Islamophobia. The Bidens don't even have to do that. They just get away with it because we let them get away with everything, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. And we've also, as bad as the media is, we've created this corrupt social media. People look at these Biden interviews. What they don't understand is that ahead of time, certain questions are ruled to be off limits. You want to interview this guy, you have to follow his narrative. And people don't realize that. It looks very natural because it's on social media. And it's all fake. You can't ask him about the financials, which is a really big stuff. You can't ask him about some of the girls. You can't ask him about the diamond that the Chinese oligarch gave him. You can't ask him about 10% for the big guy. All the stuff is off limits.
So it's the behind-the-scenes agreements before he ever steps on that people are unaware of, so they're getting a cultivated fraud product that appears to be information when all it is a skit. I mean, that's how it really – that's exactly. Behind the scenes what it is. It's a skit. So I'm wondering how you feel about the pushback that has been happening, always the ace in the hole for the media, for the American Democrats, when you see the scandals that are breaking of the Islamo-Nazi culture, whether it's Somalia or Michigan. They tried this Islamophobia scandal all my life. You see it come up occasionally here. I saw you wrote an article that it fell apart in the UK. What happened?
Yeah, they had these big headlines. Dozen people arrested, far right. They were planning attacks. A few days later, they come back with there's no evidence that they were planning any attacks. It's a lie. It's a lie so often. I remember the Burlington shooters, 3 Muslim men got shot walking down the street. They started screaming that it's Islamophobia. They were targeted. It turned out they were not targeted. There were no hate crime charges being pressed. There was zero evidence this guy was mentally unstable. He actually loved Muslims and supported Hamas. The shooter, he had no idea who they were. He was just out of his mind. We have this in the Chapel Hill killing. Illegal alien MS-13 guy goes ahead, kills this Muslim girl, has absolutely nothing to do with religion, but all the Islamic groups come down, they start screaming, we need to charge him with a hate crime. Again, zero evidence. This guy was an illegal alien MS-13 member. This happens over and over again. They take a regular crime, they start claiming that it has an Islamophobic aspect. There's no evidence of it. A friend of mine actually just exposed another one of those up in Rhode Island that was also fake. Guy got shot in a drug dealing incident. They started claiming it was Islamophobia.
Well, where it's coming out now is in Minnesota, and you see, the information of what these Somalian gangs, aside from the fact 80% are on welfare, the other 20% seem to be running scams on Medicare. The kids, the Somalian kids, there's 12 different gangs in Minnesota. They've killed in the last month, 4 or 5 people, which in Chicago, we hit that number by Wednesday, but in Minnesota, that's a big number. And the sheriff comes out to tell the people of the 12 gangs, and the Democrats of Minnesota say he's an Islamophobe. I mean, who knew that the street gangs in Minnesota are primarily controlled by Somalian kids? This is, once again, earth-shattering scandal, isn't it?
Yeah, also in Maine, by the way. Most people do not know that. Places like Portland and Maine have a huge Somali African gang problem. These are places that were pretty quiet 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Now they're in the hub of shootings. I mean, we've got a Taliban gang. We've got a gang that calls itself the Taliban in the United States that's composed of these people. Incredible. We went to Afghanistan. We've got a Taliban gang in America now.
I mean, it's ultimately, we're going to get to that point. And what is it? The Sunnis and the Suites. And that's why right now, the Iranians are bombing the Saudis and everybody else. But it won't be long. That war will be right here in this country between the cultures that are from those origins. And we'll have, for all we know, those are the gangs now that are fighting each other. Why would there be 12 different Somalian street gangs in Minnesota? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, the funny thing, and this is a story that practically nobody knows when people start talking about Islamophobia, the most serious Islamophobic attack in America, the killing of Freeman in Phoenix, was carried out by a Sunni targeting Shiites from Afghanistan. It was Muslim on Muslim violence. There was something with his daughter going on there. He came after Shiites.
Can I ask a stupid question? Because, you got to remember, you're talking to a meathead from outside of Chicago. What exactly is the primary argument between the Sunni and the Shiite?
It's all about power. Islam is all about power. The big difference is that was a question of who was going to take over after Muhammad, the original warlord who founded Islam, died. So the question is which family member was going to take over, and the Sunnis go with one guy, the Shiites go with another guy. They started fighting each other very quickly, and that's pretty much it.
The more you get into this nonsense, the dumber it is. That's why I love the fact you continue to write about it, tell us all about it, and give us an outlet and a vehicle in frontpagemag.com. You don't ever stop now. I know you do a lot of work. I mean, since the last time I talked to you, I think you got 14, 15 articles. What do you got cooking that we need to keep an eye on for tomorrow and the next day?
I'm doing a deep dive into some of where the Islamist political money is coming from. I've been looking at Mamdani. I'm starting to look at some of the other politicians in this country. A bunch of this money is almost certainly foreign money. It's coming from private equity firms that have ties to foreign governments, to offices in Dubai and Qatar.
It's funny, Daniel. Did you ever think as a grown man in America, you'd have people in positions of power that never bought their own car? Never bought his own car, lived with his mother, never paid his own bills. That's the only thing that I take a little bit of, I relax a little bit. This version of communism is started by entitled, spoiled brat kids that never paid their student loans. Oh, feel free to use that for one of your articles.
Yeah, to be fair, the old one was also started by kids who never actually worked for a living. I mean, Marx, Lenin, Mao, Che, none of these people, these were all rich kids that never worked for a living.
Boy, oh boy. People forget about Mao. He was rich. His family was big farmers. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. See, but we have this knowledge this time, Daniel. I think there's far more of us. If you look at the county elections in America, especially presidential elections by county, only 10%, 11% stupid in this country. We could beat them, especially with Front Page Mag.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend, for always making time. Go enjoy dinner. I appreciate you joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be back with your calls and comments.
This is the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
The following contains a celebrity impersonation.
Mr. President, we're seeing reporting that air conditioning systems are failing as temperatures rise. What is your response?
I said, don't wait. People wait until the last second, then suddenly it's hot and nothing works. I understand this stuff probably better than anybody.
Mr. President, why hasn't the White House issued any guidance?
I gave perfect guidance. Call Air Right Heating and Cooling. That's the guidance. If people followed it, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Sir, but homeowners have so many HVAC options.
They're not like Air Right. You got some bad installers out there, some real bad hombres. I wouldn't let them near the White House. It would be a complete disaster.
Mr. President, there are reports of significant rebates on new systems. Can you confirm?
I've heard about them. A lot of people talking about them. If you miss out, you'd have to be really not so smart. Tremendous savings, let me tell you.
Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling at AIR-RITE.com. Air Right. Doing it right since 1959.
Foundations of Freedom. A look at America's founding principles and the leaders who shaped our nation.
In 1862, Abraham Lincoln signed the Morrill Act, helping states create colleges focused on agriculture, mechanics, science, and practical education. The principle was not centralized control, it was opportunity. Lincoln's Morrill Act reminds us that America can support education without surrendering education to Washington. Why did it matter? Because a free nation needs citizens equipped to work, build, steward, and govern themselves. Scripture gives work a sacred weight. In Genesis, God placed man in the garden to work it and to keep it. Proverbs honors the one who works his land. Paul warns against idleness and calls believers to earn their bread. Why does that still matter today? Because education should form capable people under God, not dependent subjects under bureaucracy.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year. They want to make 2026 the best year ever. So to thank you, they are giving you free shipping on your entire order and wholesale pricing. So they are bringing back the mega sale. For example, the classic MyPillows, regularly $49.98, now only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA MyPillow My Mattress Topper and save up to $100. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY or call 800-489-0201 and use promo code LIBERTY. These offers won't last long, so call 800-489-0201 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY. Order now and your entire order ships absolutely free.
I have Nationwide for my cars, Squirrel. And you know why I got it? I love their song. Nationwide is on your side. And when my car floated away with Ian, they were on my side. Stroked the check in 5 days. Got American Family, a property in Illinois. Got State Farm. And I think I have Allstate on another one. I have them all. And I had to do the work, figure out who was cheaper. You know why? Because those are great companies. And sometimes they offer the best thing. Great companies, from State Farm to Allstate to Nationwide, all great. I had to research them because at that time when I did all this, I did not know about Tommy and TJ Iaquinta. I had no idea there was a company out there like Class A Insurance that took advantage of pricing all of these for you, so you only have to call them. 708-328-5150. That number, 708-328-5150. Take advantage of an insurance company that was built by the father over 20 years of delivering just the right insurance for your home, for your investment, for your boat, for your car, for your motorcycle. You may get all those different companies, but it'll always be at the best price and fit your needs. That's the experience Class A Insurance brings. You want to talk to Tommy and TJ? On the phone, 708-328-5150. If you want to get a quote in minutes online, 560insurance.com. It's that easy. 560insurance.com to get a quote in minutes, or you can call 708-328-5150. From what I hear, people are calling, and they're batting 1,000, and that's because they shop all the insurance companies to deliver what's best fit for you. When we get back, 312-642-5600. Take your calls and comments after Mike Scott.
Good evening, Shaun. In the QC Kinetics newsroom, 2 men were injured in a shooting in the Gage Park neighborhood early this morning. Chicago police tell us gunfire rang out around 12:50 a.m. along Spaulding Avenue. An investigation is underway after a Thursday morning chase involved deputies from Northwest Indiana and ended in a rollover crash on the city's far south side in the Morgan Park community. The House Judiciary Committee Chairman and Representative Jim Jordan issuing a criminal referral for former special counsel Jack Smith, accusing him of making false statements to Congress.
You can't mislead in any way, and he definitely misled us because he said he didn't get contents when, in fact, they did for 44 members of the United States Congress.
Chicago sports, Patrick Kane back with the Blackhawks. The White Sox and Northsiders have the night off. The news, a service of Aleve. At some point, body pain creeps in and becomes your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed. Your next news update is at 7. Continuous news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. And up next, a check of the evening roads. In the traffic center, here's Jill Urchak.
On Route 53 northbound, watch out for an accident blocking the right lane at the Jane Addams. Traffic is heavy into that. Edens is clear going out. The Kennedy, a 50-minute ride out to O'Hare from downtown. Inbound Eisenhower stall on the exit ramp to North Avenue. Hour and 10 in and 55 back on out. Stevenson out to 355, 45 minutes. Outbound Dan Ryan 25 to 95th. The Titan Express Pershing to Marquette. DuSable Lakeshore Drive and the Tri-State both heavy. We're seeing delays in all of the tollways. Eastbound Jane Addams, though, not too bad. I-80 eastbound also snug from Kedzie to the Tri-State. This report is a service of the AM 560 mobile app. Listen to AM 560 on your smartphone or mobile device when you download the AM 560 mobile app at 560theanswer.com/mobile. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchak.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low of 66. On Friday, it will be pleasant with a mix of sunshine and a few clouds, reaching a high of 81. Friday night will be clear to partly cloudy with a low of 66. Saturday will bring higher humidity levels along with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you're watching the market, you may know that gold has pulled back more than 20% from its recent highs. Silver has fallen even further. History shows that this could be the perfect time to diversify your retirement portfolio to include precious metals like gold and silver. In crisis after crisis over the last 50 years, gold fell first, then surged to new highs as the crisis unfolded. That's why Advantage Gold wants to send you a free gold investment guide valued at $49, plus a free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's best-selling book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, when you call 800-900-8000. In today's market, government debt has exploded to nearly $40 trillion, and central banks around the world continue buying gold at record levels. The smart money sees opportunity. If you're considering diversifying a retirement account with precious metals, tax and penalty-free, now is the best time to call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Hey, it's Shaun Thompson. You know, one day it's market volatility. The next day it's conflict overseas. Price jumps, confidence drops, and suddenly retirement feels less certain. When the latest headline pushes costs higher and stokes inflation fears, it can have a ripple effect on your investments and your budget. But here's the thing. Retirement shouldn't depend on perfect timing or on the latest geopolitical noise. Tom Fortino and the Alpha Wealth Group help families right here in the Chicago area build a plan to create income you can't outlive, control taxes, minimize risk, protect your assets, and prepare an estate and legacy plan. It's their 5-pillar retirement planning. Ready to learn more? To get your complimentary retirement roadmap and a retirement analysis today, schedule a meeting with Tom Fortino and the people of Alpha Wealth Group by calling 630-864-6711. That number again, 630-864-6711, or online at alphawealthgroup.com.
It's summer. Time to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather in a brand new scooter from Mars Medical in New Lenox. Come see and test drive their full collection of new and used power mobility devices for sale. Mars Medical carries full and travel size scooters from Pride Mobility and Golden Technologies. Inventory is moving out daily, so don't hesitate to pick out your new scooter today. And don't forget, Mars Medical also has lightweight and compact transport wheelchairs available for sale or rental use for those day trips to the zoo or to the park. Some units weigh as little as 19 pounds. Or improve your outdoor activities with a Rollator walker. Mars Medical has over 7 models of Rollator walkers on the floor for purchase. Make this summer one to remember with help from Mars Medical on the north side of Route 30 between Cedar and Vine Road in New Lenox. Or go to marsmedicalsupply.com. Mars Medical, customer care that is out of this world.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This hour of The Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. Inherited a coin collection? Sell to global bidders for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Death to America and butter sauce. Don't boil me. I'm still alive. Iraq lobster.
You know, when you look at the front page of these information outlets like the Drudge Report, Iran rebuilding faster than expected. I love the undertone of just rooting for America's enemy. We get it, you filthy scum. You covered up the election theft of 2020. You covered up the treason of Barack, his big-footed wife. You cover up the treason of everybody from Jack Smith to the policies that led to the financial robbery, financial scandal that is the Ukraine war. That to me is shocking. And all of these Democrats who pretend to care about our spending as they talk about the Iran war, they want you to spend more than $1.2 trillion on public school education that has taught kids what exactly? As we face some of the biggest scandals, the biggest fraud this country's ever faced from their very government.
What is Latina power?
What is Latino power?
Latina power.
Latina power.
would be the forces derived from being a Latina.
Do you think that it's a...
Let's just let this breathe. This is this $2 whore who's in charge of the Smithsonian. They derive from their own power. You know, this is the problem, Squirrel. You see, I don't care what nationality you are. You are you. You're not part of a collective, let alone the idea that we pretend there's Latina. If Latina has so much power, why is Mexico, El Salvador, Guadalajara, pick South or Central America, why is it such a third world dunghole? Is that part of the power, you fracking idiot?
Appropriate for the Smithsonian Institution to sell Latina power paraphernalia? Hats, mugs, other things that say Latina power?
I believe that the merchandise our store sells...
I'm asking you if it's appropriate.
Tries to reflect the richness of the communities.
So your testimony...
By the way, these are the intellects. You're listening to this. She doesn't have the character to say what she thinks. You know why? She's a Democrat. She's a Democrat. She's a fraud, a liar. And you could hear the arrogance, the ignorance, and the obvious lie in every word.
Is that it is appropriate?
Those are your words, sir.
I'm asking you, is it appropriate to sell Latina power paraphernalia? It's a yes or no question.
I don't have control over what is sold.
I'm asking you if it's
stores.
appropriate. I didn't ask you if you have control over it. Is
I
it
understood
appropriate?
you, sir. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Again, we strive to represent all.
You don't have the care. You can't tell the truth, you whore. You cannot tell the truth. Can't do it, Squirrel. You could be hanging her off of the top of the building. Just tell the truth. Answer the question or I'll drop you. You know what she'll say on the way down, Squirrel? This.
Americans and including.
Is it appropriate, yes or no?
We strive to represent all Americans in our music.
You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to your mother and your father and your grandparents. You're a Democrat.
You actually welcomed children to an exhibit with sexually explicit material. And so,
correct.
along
In that
those lines,
exhibit,
can you tell us what a crotch harness is?
I'm sorry, did you say crotch harness? I was going to name my boat crotch harness, Squirrel. I was, and then that boat went for sale butt naked after the Democrat in Midlothian got caught stealing from Medicare. So if it wasn't going to be butt naked, it's going to be a crotch harness.
You actually welcomed children to an exhibit with sexually explicit material. And so,
correct.
along
In that
those lines,
exhibit,
can you tell us what a crotch harness is?
Crotch
brought a picture.
harness.
Tell the audience what a crotch harness is.
So, ma'am, if I may answer your question about girlhood.
Somebody ask a trans testicle. Something tells me it's got to do some pulling and tucking.
It's complicated. And the questions that you had.
No, I'm moving on. What is a crotch harness? You chose to make a display of it.
Girlhood, it's complicated.
Come on, Sally. Let's go, Paul. Grandpa's going to take you to the Smithsonian. Papa, what's a crotch harness? You fracking scumbags. You Democrats are scum. Eric in Marengo.
Hey, Shaun. So, I'm out here in Marengo. There was a gas station. They got run out because it just,
Was its name Crotch Harness?
Yeah, it was Crotch Harness.
Crotch
right?
Harness Gas and Tuck? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, they redid this thing. It's got brand new pumps.
Sure.
Clean. I'm going in there. Let's say I'm going in there to grab me a Snickers bar, okay?
All right.
I go in there. I grab my Snickers bar. I walk up to the counter. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And the guy doesn't say a word to me. He just starts breaking out into the Aloha snack bar thing, going up and down off the floor. He won't even talk to me because he's in the middle of his Middle Eastern whatever.
So wait a minute. Was he on the magic carpet facing what he thinks is east?
I don't know.
Prostrating himself like he broke down in Alexei Janulius and Barack Obama's hot tub? No?
I don't know what this guy's problem is, but I mean, at least say, hey, let me do my
breaking out of South Carolina.
Well, I got to tell you something, Eric. I would have turned around and walked out. I would have bought my gas somewhere.
I left my stuff on the counter, and I was like, then he walks out after he's done with his prayer, like, hey, why didn't you buy your stuff? You're ignoring me in my own country. I just walked through the door. You're supposed to.
I'm no connoisseur of chocolate, but I believe they sell those Snickers virtually anywhere, kid. So you go somewhere where
I'm just starting to check this new store out to see if an Indian can run one without running it down, but I guess that's not possible.
All right. Note to self, Eric says the new gas station in Marengo sucks. Thank you very much. Do not get your gas at the Crotch Harness gas station.
It was designed to
Okay,
help
you
celebrate
approved
the
the
centennial.
display of a crotch harness in a public museum.
There's something about an old lady who probably has never said those two words together in what looks to be a very conservative suit that just brings a smile to my face, Squirrel.
You chose to display the fetish attire of a very small subset of Americans with weird sexual proclivities, and
Those would be the Democrats, the crotch harness Democrats. And when it comes to their work ethic, here's a nice broad, a big fat slob of a woman who had enough money to get tattoos on her arms and that horseshoe stuck in her nose, which I don't think means good luck or good looking. And she's going to tell you why she's never working a day in her life, as she's surrounded by cats who, by the look on their face, were using their eyelids to signal somebody kill me.
So I wanted to make this video to hopefully pin on most of my social medias so that if anyone is curious as to what I am diagnosed with or what I have going on, then you guys can go ahead and reference this video. I have it all written down here so that if I forget anything, then that's why I'm looking over here. The first thing I am diagnosed with is idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or IIH. You'll hear me refer to it as most of the time. That also caused papilledema in my eyes, which is thankfully in remission now that I've gotten surgery for my shunt. So my papilledema is in remission, but I do still have IIH. Then I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS. I'm also diagnosed with gastroparesis, occipital neuralgia.
And just to top off the schizophrenia, she's gassy. Excellent. Let me know where your eHarmony page is. How do you swipe, Squirrel? Right, left? Don't touch the page.
And TMJ symptoms.
Boy.
Occipital neuralgia is different than the TMJ.
I know what that is.
I kind of made those sound like they go together.
That was
but
my
they don't.
nickname in high school.
But I have like TMJ problems in my jaw as well. And then recently I was diagnosed with spinal stenosis of the lower spine.
She's got that
and
too.
And then I have several diagnoses that are like in the works. We are in the process of getting me diagnosed with them, but I have to go see specialists for these.
What's that cost, Fatso? And by the way, this disgrace of a human being, she votes. Anybody want to guess? I'll take my net worth plus double. She's a registered Democrat.
Which I've already seen specialists for the ones that I already have, but these specialists are even harder for me to go see. So these ones would be HEDS, or hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, MECFS, or myalgic encephalomyelitis.
Yeah, you got that too. You know what none of these diseases do, Squirrel? None of them affect her appetite. She's as hungry as a cow. 312-642-5600.
I'm depressed, I gained weight, my face broke out, I'm nauseous, I'm constipated, my feet swelled, my gums are bleeding, my sinuses are clogged, I got heartburn, I'm cranky, and I have gas.
Marxists, socialists, and communists are not welcome on the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap GoodRx. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hey, y'all, I'm Willie Robertson.
And I'm Corey Robertson.
We partnered with Echo. It's a new platform, not just streaming.
Movies and series that are safe for your family. Echo. I love a podcast.
Plus, Echo Daily Devotionals.
Echo. Hey, Willie, what is Echo?
Echo is my pet squirrel. Okay, Doc. Echo is not just faith-friendly, it is faith-driven.
Be a part of something better.
Echo.
Echo.
That's where I want to be.
That's EKKL.com.
Subscribe now.
If moving safely around your home is a concern, you deserve clear answers, not a sales pitch. Access will help you improve home accessibility with practical solutions like lifts, grab bars, and home modifications, designed to fit your home, your needs, and budget. Experienced professionals will take the time to explain your options so you can make an informed decision. If staying safe and comfortable in your home matters to you, start with a free in-home consultation. Call Access at 630-616-6249 or visit allaboutaccess.com.
If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your existing home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Zeke, self-employed, called to refinance his $1 million home after being rejected by 3 lenders. Zeke contacted me after hearing me explain how I helped another self-employed listener who was also rejected due to lack of income. I helped Zeke secure an $800,000 cash-out refinance using the 12-month average of Zeke's business bank statements. Let's review. Zeke called to refinance his home after being rejected by 3 lenders, and we help Zeke refinance using the deposits into his business bank statements. If you're self-employed and want to work with mortgage professionals who understand self-employed borrowers, call Team Hochberg at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg's helped thousands of self-employed listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 and that website you love, 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
AM 560, The Answer.
No evidence that undocumented minors vote. We're debating a problem that does not exist.
This is a solution in search of a problem that does not exist.
The evidence is almost no illegal immigrants vote. Some benign effort to tell the small number of illegal immigrants.
The reports show voter fraud is exceedingly rare, but there's a couple things we know about the administration.
Citizen voting in federal elections is already illegal.
42,000 people in Nevada voted more than once, according to your work in this. 42,000 people. 1,500 people voted in Nevada that were dead. 19,000 people voted though they did not live in Nevada and they weren't a college student. 8,000 people voted from a non-existent address. 15,000 people voted though they were registered to a commercial address or a vacant address, and 4,000 people voted in Nevada that are non-citizens.
Well, Nevada's run by thieving, low-life, corrupt Democrats. What did you think was going to happen?
About 6,600 non-citizens were accidentally added to state voter rolls, and about 400 cast improper ballots in recent elections spread across party affiliation.
They were registered as Democrats, Republicans, and the majority unaffiliated.
So you know what that does, right, Squirrel? So it's no big deal. They're just like you. They're just like you, except for the fact we're lying. It's tens of thousands, and we know it. And you know how you know they were lying? They're one of the most corrupt states, but they're also one of the ones suing the government to never show the voter rolls, like Illinois is Stan. This shocks Jake Tapper. Welcome to the party, Jake, you moron.
Cheryl, the governor of New Jersey, made this announcement today, a surprising announcement. Nearly 400 non-citizens voted in New Jersey elections as a result of what she calls a serious software error. Governor Cheryl posted this quote, as the Trump administration tries to weaponize elections for political gain, I am ensuring we protect our elections. She goes on to say the difference is simple. When we find a problem, we don't hide it, deny it, or invent conspiracies. We investigate it, we fix it, and we tell the public. I have to say, though, for Democrats, I'm not saying that the Save America, the SAVE Act is going to pass.
Yeah.
But this is not good for Democrats' argument that...
No, what it means, Jake, any election, anywhere that is overseen, operated, or reviewed by a Democrat is absolutely and totally illegitimate, just like Barack Obama knew.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines.
First gay president admitting election theft. We'll be back in 21 to once again validate the accusations we've been making since Barack Obama was swindling property in Hyde Park. It's easy to do, Squirrel.
Identity theft could cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages,